The endless paradox is an idea that invites us to confront the inherent contradictions that define our understanding of reality and challenge the boundaries of logic and reason in unexpected ways. It blends elements of philosophy, science, art, and everyday human experience into a tapestry of inquiry that resists any final resolution. At its core, the endless paradox suggests that every answer we uncover only opens the door to deeper, more intricate questions. This creates a loop of perpetual exploration, where certainty remains elusive and every solution reveals further layers of complexity. Throughout history, from the ancient puzzles of Zeno's paradoxes, which question the very nature of motion and divisibility, to the modern conundrums posed by quantum mechanics, the paradox has served to continually destabilize our grasp of what is real. Paradoxes have long been used in philosophy as tools to expose the limitations of language and reason. They compel us to examine the assumptions that underpin our thought processes and to challenge the dichotomies of true and false, good and evil, or existence and non-existence. Such contradictions mirror the inner conflicts we face as human beings, where our ideals often clash with the messy realities of life, leading to cognitive dissonance and the constant need to reconcile opposing forces within ourselves. In the realm of science, the endless paradox is vividly present in fields like cosmology and particle physics. As we learn more about the universe, from the mysterious dark matter that permeates space to the ever-expanding nature of the cosmos, each discovery unsettles previously held certainties and invites further questioning about the origins and ultimate fate of everything that exists. This scientific journey is marked by a dynamic tension between the known and the unknown, where each breakthrough reveals additional layers of complexity that challenge our ability to fully grasp the true nature of reality. Artists and writers have also been fascinated by the endless paradox, using it as a central theme to explore the dualities and contradictions inherent in the human condition. Through narratives that defy linear storytelling, characters that embody conflicting ideals, and imagery that captures the simultaneous presence of beauty and decay, creators invite audiences to embrace ambiguity. Their work mirrors our personal journeys, where the search for meaning often leads us through a labyrinth of emotions, memories, and experiences that resist simple categorization. Moreover, the paradox extends into the realm of ethics and morality, where decisions and actions are rarely black and white, but instead exist within a spectrum of competing values and consequences. The endless interplay between right and wrong, justice and mercy, can leave us grappling with the unsettling realization that clear-cut solutions are often impossible. This ethical dimension challenges us to remain open-minded and to acknowledge that our understanding of what is just or fair is subject to continual revision as we encounter new perspectives. On a personal level, the endless paradox speaks to how we navigate the complexities of our inner lives, where moments of joy and sorrow, hope and despair coexist in a delicate balance. It reminds us that growth often comes not from resolving these contradictions, but from the ongoing process of questioning and re-evaluating our beliefs, values, and aspirations. In this sense, the paradox becomes a metaphor for the human journey itself, an ever-evolving quest for understanding in which the pursuit of knowledge is as important as any destination. Embracing the endless paradox means accepting that life is inherently uncertain and that our greatest insights often emerge from the tension between opposites. It encourages us to celebrate the ambiguity that defines our existence, to find beauty in the unresolved, and to see each contradiction not as a failure of thought, but as a sign of the profound depth and complexity of the world around us. In doing so, we come to realize that the pursuit of truth is not a linear path toward a final answer, but a continuous process of exploration and discovery, a journey that invites us to appreciate the interplay between clarity and confusion, between what we know and what remains forever just out of reach. Ultimately, the endless paradox is not a problem to be solved, but a state of being that compels us to engage with life in all its multifaceted glory. It urges us to persist in our search for understanding, even when the answers seem as elusive as the paradox itself, inspiring us to continually seek, question, and create in the face of an ever-expanding universe of mystery and wonder. The mirror of illusion invites us to question the very nature of what we perceive as reality. It is a metaphor for the delicate interplay between appearance and truth, where the reflections we see are not always accurate depictions of what lies behind them. In this view, our perceptions are shaped by layers of belief, emotion, and experience that can distort and color the world around us. This concept challenges us to consider whether we ever truly see things as they are, or if we are always looking at a reflection tinted by our inner lives. This idea finds its roots in ancient philosophy, where thinkers have long debated the reliability of the senses. Just as a mirror can both reveal and obscure, our sensory experiences can be deceptive. The famous allegory of the cave, for example, illustrates how shadows on a wall may be mistaken for reality by those who have never seen the true source of light. In a similar manner, the mirror of illusion suggests that our everyday experiences, though vivid and immediate, may not capture the fullness of what is real. They might instead represent a simplified or even misleading version of a much deeper truth. At a more personal level, the mirror of illusion speaks to the way we see ourselves and our place in the world. Each of us carries our own set of expectations, prejudices, and desires that act as a lens, filtering every experience. Sometimes, we cling to the reflection that we wish to see, ignoring discrepancies that might suggest a different reality. This process of self-deception can provide comfort in times of uncertainty, yet it also limits our ability to grow and learn from experiences that challenge our preconceived notions. Recognizing the illusions in our own reflections is a crucial step towards embracing a more honest and multifaceted understanding of ourselves. In art and literature, the mirror has often been used as a symbol of both revelation and deception. Surrealist paintings, for instance, twist and contort images to create reflections that are at once familiar and strange. These artistic expressions remind us that reality is not fixed, but fluid, capable of shifting with perspective and context. Folklore and mythology also frequently invoke the image of a magic mirror, one that not only reflects the outer appearance, but also reveals hidden aspects of one's character or destiny. In these narratives, the mirror of illusion serves as both a guide and a trickster, urging us to look deeper while cautioning us against taking surface appearances at face value. Philosophically, the concept of the mirror of illusion extends to the realm of existence itself. It forces us to confront the paradox that while we rely on our senses to navigate the world, those same senses can be unreliable. The tension between what appears to be true and what is actually real has been a subject of inquiry for centuries. By questioning the integrity of our perceptions, we are led to explore the possibility that truth might be hidden beneath multiple layers of illusion. This quest for authenticity is not merely an abstract pursuit. It has practical implications for how we live our lives and make decisions. Accepting that our vision of the world is inherently imperfect can be both humbling and liberating, encouraging us to remain open to new ideas and experiences. In everyday life, the mirror of illusion manifests in the way we interpret events, form judgments, and interact with others. Social interactions are often colored by personal biases and assumptions that create a skewed reflection of reality. For example, we might project our fears or hopes onto another person, seeing in them a version of ourselves rather than who they truly are. Such projections can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts, yet they also offer a mirror in which we can examine our own inner workings. By acknowledging the role of illusion in our perceptions, we can strive to engage more authentically with the people and situations that shape our lives. Ultimately, embracing the mirror of illusion is about more than just skepticism. It is an invitation to explore the rich tapestry of existence with a sense of curiosity and wonder. When we recognize that our perceptions are colored by internal narratives, we open ourselves up to the possibility of transformation. This process involves both accepting the beauty of the distorted reflections we see and challenging ourselves to look beyond them in search of deeper truths. The journey is not about finding a single, unchanging answer, but about continuously refining our understanding of what is real, even if that truth remains forever elusive. In this way, the mirror of illusion becomes a powerful tool for personal and collective growth. It teaches us that the quest for truth is an ongoing process, one that requires humility, self-awareness, and the willingness to question even our most cherished beliefs. Whether in art, philosophy, or the everyday interactions that define our lives, the mirror of illusion reminds us that reality is a complex, ever-changing mosaic. By learning to navigate the interplay between appearance and truth, we not only enrich our understanding of the world, but also cultivate the wisdom necessary to live it more fully. The Labyrinth of Time is a metaphor for the intricate journey we all undertake as we move through our lives, where the past, present, and future intertwine in a maze of memories, experiences, and possibilities. As we step into this labyrinth, we quickly learn that time is not a simple, linear progression, but a network of corridors, twists, and turns, each leading us into unexpected places. Every path taken or left unexplored carries with it the weight of what has been and the promise of what might yet come, inviting us to ponder the fluid nature of our existence. In this winding maze, the familiar boundaries between yesterday, today, and tomorrow blur into one continuous experience. The memories we cherish, the decisions we make, and the dreams we nurture are all interlaced, forming a complex tapestry that challenges our conventional understanding of time. At each corner of the labyrinth, we encounter moments of clarity and confusion, as the echoes of our past resonate with the uncertainty of the future. This interplay forces us to confront the paradox that while time is ever-present and unyielding, its true nature is elusive and full of hidden depths. As we navigate the labyrinth, we find that our personal histories are much like secret passageways, filled with chambers of long-forgotten emotions and experiences waiting to be rediscovered. The act of recalling a memory is akin to retracing a step along an ancient, winding path. Each recollection is layered with both the joy and sorrow of the moments that have shaped us. These memories do more than just remind us of what once was. They actively influence the choices we make as we forge new paths. In this way, the Labyrinth of Time becomes a living record of our lives, where every twist and turn is a testament to our growth, resilience, and ever-evolving identity. The complexity of time is further deepened by the realization that every decision we make creates multiple branching paths, each representing a different possibility, a divergent future that might have been. This aspect of the labyrinth challenges the illusion of control we often cling to, revealing instead that our journey is a blend of deliberate choices and unforeseen happenstances. Just as a traveler in a maze might choose one corridor over another, only to later discover a hidden connection between them, so too do our lives unfold in unpredictable ways. It is within this uncertainty that the true beauty of the labyrinth lies, a beauty that is found not in the destination, but in the exploration itself. Woven into the very fabric of the Labyrinth of Time is the notion of transformation. Every encounter, every moment of joy or despair acts as a catalyst for change, subtly reshaping the contours of our inner world. The journey through time is marked by a constant evolution, where the lessons of the past blend with the possibilities of the future, allowing us to reinvent ourselves over and over again. This process of perpetual transformation is both daunting and inspiring, urging us to embrace change even when the path ahead seems obscured by uncertainty. Art and literature have long embraced the labyrinth as a powerful symbol of the human condition, capturing the essence of time as an enigmatic force. In countless works, the labyrinth serves as a mirror reflecting our deepest hopes, fears, and dreams. It challenges us to see beyond the immediate and to appreciate the complexity of the human spirit. These creative expressions remind us that time, with all its intricacies, is not merely a measure of seconds and minutes, but a profound narrative that tells the story of our lives in all its messy, unpredictable glory. Amid the corridors and crossroads of this labyrinth, we also encounter moments of introspection, times when the journey inward becomes as significant as the journey through the external world. In these quiet pauses, we come face to face with our own thoughts and emotions, recognizing that the labyrinth is as much a reflection of our inner selves as it is of the passage of time. This internal exploration often reveals hidden truths about who we are, encouraging us to confront the shadows of our past and to embrace the light of new beginnings. Ultimately, the Labyrinth of Time is a celebration of the complexity and mystery that defines the human experience. It invites us to see time not as a relentless force that pushes us inexorably forward, but as a rich and dynamic landscape filled with opportunities for discovery, growth, and renewal. In every turn, every unexpected twist, we are reminded that our lives are a continuous journey of exploration, a journey where the process of navigating the maze is just as significant as arriving at any particular destination. Embracing the labyrinth means accepting that some questions may forever remain unanswered, and that the beauty of our existence lies in the endless pursuit of understanding and meaning. The void of consciousness is a vast, uncharted realm where the endless chatter of thought gives way to a profound silence. In this space, the ceaseless activity of the mind slowly fades, revealing an expansive emptiness that is not barren at all, but rather pregnant with potential and possibility. Here, the layers of habitual thinking and self-imposed narratives peel away, inviting a deep, almost primal encounter with the very essence of existence. In the quiet of this inner expanse, time seems to lose its rigid structure. Moments stretch into an eternal now, where past and future dissolve into a single continuous experience. It is as if the relentless tick of the clock is replaced by a gentle rhythmic pulse, a heartbeat that resonates with the raw, unmediated awareness of being. This transformation allows one to step out of the familiar confines of linear thought and to enter a state where every breath becomes a portal to deeper insight. As one journeys into the void, the usual markers of identity, memories, desires, and the constant stream of thoughts gradually recede. In their place emerges a profound stillness, an unadorned presence that is both mysterious and invigorating. This silence is not empty in the sense of lacking substance. Rather, it is full of the unspoken, a rich tapestry woven from the threads of latent emotions, hidden truths, and the unexpressed facets of the self. In this state, one begins to notice the subtle interplay between what is seen and what lies beneath, between the surface of everyday consciousness and the deep currents that shape our inner world. There is a paradox in the void, a seeming contradiction that the absence of thought can be so full of meaning. It is within this silent landscape that the mind can find the space to truly observe itself without the distortions of bias and preconception. In the stillness, there is an opportunity to witness the raw, unfiltered state of being, to see not just the constructed persona, but the deeper, often unrecognized core of who we are. This process, at once both humbling and transformative, offers a glimpse into a realm where understanding is not derived from the constant accumulation of ideas, but from the profound clarity that emerges when one is fully present. As the journey continues, the void reveals itself as a fertile ground for creativity and renewal. In the absence of the usual mental noise, new ideas and insights begin to surface. It is as if the silence acts as a canvas, allowing the mind to paint with colors that were previously hidden beneath layers of routine thought. This creative energy, born from the depths of the void, carries with it the potential to transform not only one's inner landscape, but also the way one engages with the external world. The insights that emerge in this state often carry a wisdom that transcends ordinary understanding, a wisdom that speaks of interconnectedness, of the subtle balance between absence and presence. The experience of the void is not without its challenges. For many, the initial encounter with this profound silence can be disconcerting. The absence of familiar mental landmarks may evoke feelings of disorientation or even existential unease. Yet it is precisely in facing these moments of uncertainty that one begins to truly appreciate the value of the journey. The void demands a surrender of control, a willingness to let go of the incessant need to define and categorize every experience. In this surrender, one finds a freedom that is as exhilarating as it is profound, a freedom that allows the mind to explore without the constraints of habitual thought and self-imposed limitations. In this state of liberated awareness, there is a transformation of perception. The boundaries that once defined the self and the world become fluid, blending into one continuous flow of experience. It is as if the individual self merges with a greater, more expansive consciousness, a state of being that is both deeply personal and universally connected. This merging does not obliterate the self, but rather redefines it, offering a perspective that embraces the totality of existence. The void becomes a mirror, reflecting not just the external world, but the inner landscape in all its complexity and beauty. Through sustained practice and intentional reflection, many find that venturing into the void leads to a lasting shift in perspective. The insights gleaned from these moments of deep silence often inform everyday life, guiding actions and decisions with a quiet yet unwavering clarity. There is a certain empowerment that comes from knowing that beneath the surface of constant thought lies a wellspring of inner wisdom, a resource that remains accessible regardless of external circumstances. This inner resource can serve as a touchstone in times of stress or uncertainty, reminding one of the inherent resilience and depth that resides within. Ultimately, the void of consciousness is not an endpoint to be reached, but an ongoing journey, or a continual process of exploration and self-discovery. It is a reminder that the richness of life is found not in the relentless pursuit of external goals or the endless accumulation of thoughts, but in the ability to embrace silence, to welcome the unknown, and to find meaning in the spaces between. In these quiet intervals, where the noise of the world fades away, one discovers a truth that is both timeless and transformative. That within the void lies the infinite potential of being, ever ready to unfold its mysteries to those who dare to venture within. The echoes of infinity beckon us into a realm where time dissolves and every moment reverberates with an eternal resonance. In the stillness of a quiet night, when the hustle of daily life fades into the background, one may feel the subtle pulse of the cosmos, a gentle hum that seems to bridge the chasm between the past and the future. It is as if every star in the sky sings a soft melody, a whisper of creation that has traveled across eons to reach our eyes and hearts, reminding us that we are part of an endless cosmic symphony. Looking up at the vast expanse, the shimmering light of distant galaxies, and the delicate glow of nebulae serve as visual echoes of a time long past, each photon carrying the stories of ancient cataclysms and the birth of new worlds. These lights, flickering like scattered notes in an everlasting composition, reveal that the universe is a dynamic canvas of continuous transformation. In every glimmer, there is a hint of the infinite, a reflection of a boundless mystery that surpasses the limits of our understanding and invites us to contemplate our own fleeting existence. In art and literature, the notion of infinity has long been a muse for those who dare to explore the realms beyond the ordinary. Poets and painters alike have tried to capture this elusive grandeur, using metaphors of endless oceans, uncharted skies, and looping labyrinths to evoke the sensation of an eternal echo. Through these creative expressions, the infinite becomes tangible, a timeless dialogue between our finite selves and the sprawling vastness of the cosmos. Each brushstroke or carefully chosen word is a tribute to the ceaseless interplay of creation and dissolution, echoing the eternal cycle that binds all things together. Beyond the realm of aesthetics, the echoes of infinity find resonance in the scientific exploration of the universe. The intricate patterns of fractals, the rhythmic pulsations of stars, and the perpetual expansion of space all point to a reality governed by laws that seem to stretch into the infinite. In these natural phenomena, we see a reflection of an order that is both precise and profoundly mysterious. Every discovery in the field of astrophysics and cosmology peels back another layer of this enigma, inviting us to ponder the deep connection between the microcosm of our inner world and the macrocosm of the universe. Yet, the most profound echoes of infinity are not solely found in the stars or in the equations of science, but in the quiet recesses of our own consciousness. In the moments when the mind is still and the noise of everyday thought subsides, we can sense a whisper of something far greater than ourselves, a vast, unspoken dialogue that transcends individual experience. It is in these rare instances of deep introspection that we perceive the subtle interplay of memory, emotion, and intuition, each thought resonating like a soft echo that links us to a collective human experience stretching back through time. In this inner silence, we come face to face with the infinite, realizing that our personal narratives are but small, yet significant notes in the grand symphony of existence. This intimate connection with the infinite invites us to live with a heightened sense of wonder and humility. It challenges us to look beyond the immediate and the material, to recognize that every fleeting moment, every heartbeat, contributes to a larger, ever-evolving story. The echoes of infinity remind us that our lives, though seemingly transient, are imbued with a timeless quality, a potential for renewal and transformation that is as vast as the cosmos itself. In the soft interplay of light and shadow, sound and silence, we find the courage to embrace our own impermanence and, in doing so, discover a deeper, more enduring sense of purpose. Ultimately, the echoes of infinity call us to join in a never-ending dance with the universe, to add our unique voice to the celestial chorus that has been singing since time immemorial. They encourage us to be open to the mysteries that lie just beyond our grasp, to find beauty in the unknown, and to recognize that every experience, no matter how small, is a resonant thread in the fabric of an eternal tapestry. In this ongoing dialogue between the finite and the infinite, we are reminded that our journey is not defined by a singular destination, but by the ever-present echo of possibility that continues to unfold with every breath we take. The enigma of the self unfolds as a journey into the deepest corridors of our own existence, a quest to understand the intricate mosaic of identity that both defines and eludes us. In the quiet moments of introspection, we find ourselves at the crossroads of countless influences, memories, dreams, and the ever-shifting perceptions that weave together the tapestry of who we are. Each thought, each emotion forms a brushstroke on the canvas of our being, yet the full portrait remains elusive, hinting at mysteries that lie just beyond the grasp of our conscious mind. At the heart of this enigma is the interplay between the known and the unknowable. We are the sum of our experiences, yet there is a part of us that defies explanation, a silent witness that observes without judgment. This observer is ever present, a subtle current running beneath the surface of our everyday thoughts, inviting us to explore the boundaries between the self that we present to the world and the deeper, unspoken reality that resides within. It is here, in the spaces between our words and actions, that the true puzzle of our identity begins to reveal itself. In our relentless pursuit of understanding, we often turn inward, seeking answers in the quiet recesses of our mind. The journey is rarely straightforward. It is marked by moments of profound clarity intermingled with periods of doubt and uncertainty. As we peel away the layers of preconceived notions and societal expectations, we may encounter truths that challenge our most cherished beliefs. These revelations can be both liberating and unsettling, as they remind us that the self is not a static construct, but a dynamic, ever-evolving entity, continuously shaped by the interplay of past experiences and present insights. Yet the enigma of the self is not confined solely to introspection. It is also reflected in our interactions with the world around us, in the relationships we forge, and the roles we assume. Each encounter serves as a mirror, reflecting fragments of our identity back to us, sometimes in ways that are unexpected or even contradictory. In these reflections, we catch glimpses of the complexity that lies beneath the surface, a complexity that defies easy categorization and resists the neat boundaries of definition. The self, in all its multifaceted glory, is as much a product of our internal landscape as it is of the external forces that shape our lives. This intricate dance between inner truth and outer perception often leads us to confront the paradoxes inherent in our existence. We strive for a sense of unity and coherence, yet we are continually reminded of our fragmented nature. The various roles we play, be it as a friend, a parent, a professional, or a dreamer, each reveal different facets of our personality, contributing to a mosaic that is both beautiful and bewildering. In embracing this multiplicity, we learn that the quest for self-understanding is not about finding a singular, definitive answer, but about appreciating the rich spectrum of possibilities that define our humanity. As we venture further into the labyrinth of the self, the lines between the observer and the observed begin to blur. The act of self-reflection transforms into a dialogue with the very essence of our being, where questions give rise to more questions rather than definitive answers. This process of continual inquiry is not a sign of weakness or confusion, but a testament to the depth and complexity of the human spirit. It is through this dialogue that we come to recognize the beauty in our own ambiguity, the inherent strength in our vulnerability, and the endless potential for growth that lies in every moment of self-discovery. In the stillness of our inner world, we may find that the enigma of the self is not something to be solved, but rather something to be experienced. It is a journey that invites us to live fully in the present, to savor the delicate interplay of thought and emotion, and to embrace the mystery that lies at the very core of our being. Each step we take along this path, each insight we gain, adds another layer to our understanding, even as the ultimate truth remains just out of reach, a reminder that the self is a living, breathing paradox, ever in flux and beautifully incomprehensible. Ultimately, the enigma of the self is a call to live with curiosity and compassion, to honor the myriad dimensions of our identity without the need for absolute certainty. It is an invitation to explore the uncharted territories of our inner landscape, to find meaning in the interplay of light and shadow, and to celebrate the ever-unfolding mystery of what it truly means to be alive. The riddle of existence unfolds as an endless inquiry into the nature of being, a puzzle that has intrigued the human spirit since time immemorial. From the moment we take our first breath, we are thrust into a world of mysteries, a realm where every joy, every sorrow, every fleeting moment carries with it the weight of profound questions. What does it mean to exist? Is our life a random collection of experiences? Or is there a deeper, hidden order woven into the fabric of reality? As we navigate through the labyrinth of our own consciousness, we find that existence is not a problem to be solved, but a riddle to be experienced, a dynamic interplay between the known and the unknown. In our search for answers, we have long turned to philosophy, art, and science. Ancient sages and modern thinkers alike have probed the depths of existence, offering insights that both illuminate and complicate our understanding. Eastern traditions speak of the unity of all things, suggesting that the self is an illusion, a mere ripple on the vast, interconnected ocean of life. In contrast, Western thought often emphasizes the individual, placing the human experience at the center of its quest for meaning. Yet, whether one finds solace in the meditative silence of a monastery or in the bold declarations of existentialism, both paths lead to the same fundamental question. Why are we here, and what is the purpose of it all? Every moment we live is a testament to this riddle. The mundane routines of daily life, our work, our relationships, our struggles and triumphs, are all fragments of a larger mosaic that we are constantly piecing together. It is in the quiet pauses between these fragments that the true mystery of existence reveals itself. A sunrise, a whispered word, the fleeting smile of a stranger, each is a subtle echo of something vast and ungraspable, a reminder that life is both fleeting and eternal. In these moments, we catch a glimpse of an order that transcends the chaos of our individual experiences, hinting at a cosmic design that defies simple explanation. Yet, the riddle of existence is also found in its contradictions. Life is a paradox, a dance between light and shadow, creation and decay. Just as the night is defined by the presence of stars, our struggles and challenges often serve as the catalysts for growth and transformation. It is through the interplay of opposites that we come to understand the richness of our own experience. The pain of loss deepens our appreciation for joy, and the uncertainty of the future makes each moment of clarity all the more precious. In this way, the enigma of existence is not a barrier to be overcome, but a mystery to be embraced, inviting us to revel in the beauty of its contradictions. The journey into this riddle is deeply personal. Each of us carries a unique story, a tapestry of memories, hopes, and dreams that shape our identity and our understanding of the world. As we reflect on our lives, we may find that the answers we seek are not found in definitive statements or absolute truths, but in the continuous process of questioning and exploration. The search itself becomes a vital part of our existence, a call to live authentically and with an open heart. It is in this perpetual quest for understanding that we learn to appreciate the transient beauty of each moment and the profound mystery that underlies every aspect of our being. In contemplating the riddle of existence, we also confront the limits of our knowledge. The more we learn about the universe, the intricate dance of atoms, the vast expanses of space, the unfathomable depths of time, the more we realize how much remains beyond our grasp. This awareness can be both humbling and inspiring. It encourages us to accept that some questions may never have clear answers, and that the mystery itself is what gives life its depth and vitality. The unknown is not an enemy to be feared, but a vast frontier that beckons us to explore, to imagine, and to create meaning where there appears to be none. Ultimately, the riddle of existence is a mirror reflecting our endless capacity for wonder. It challenges us to look beyond the surface of everyday life and to perceive the world in all its complexity and splendor. It reminds us that while the answers may be elusive, the journey of seeking them is where true fulfillment lies. In every breath, every heartbeat, we are invited to engage with the mystery of our own being, to celebrate the infinite possibilities that each moment holds, and to embrace the beautiful uncertainty of what it means to be alive. The riddle of existence, then, is not a question to be answered once and for all, but a perpetual invitation to live with curiosity, passion, and an unwavering commitment to the quest for deeper understanding. It is in this continuous dialogue with life that we discover our place in the universe, a tiny, radiant spark within the vast, unfolding mystery of existence. The dreaming paradox draws us into a twilight realm where the boundaries between waking reality and the mysterious landscapes of our sleep blur into a fluid, ever-shifting tapestry of meaning and illusion. In this space, the mind becomes both a stage and an artist, crafting vivid narratives that defy conventional logic while whispering secrets of a deeper, hidden order. It is a place where the ephemeral nature of dreams meets the permanence of our inner truths, challenging us to reconsider what is real and what is merely a transient reflection of our desires, fears, and forgotten memories. In the quiet hours of slumber, when the familiar cadence of our daily lives softens into a gentle murmur, we find ourselves adrift in a world that is as perplexing as it is enchanting. Dreams offer fleeting moments of clarity, a sudden insight or a striking symbol that seems to speak directly to the soul. Yet they are also shrouded in mystery, their meanings obscured by layers of metaphor and the fluid logic of the unconscious. This paradox, where apparent clarity coexists with profound ambiguity, invites us to explore the interplay between what we consciously understand and the hidden narratives that lie beneath. As we traverse these nocturnal landscapes, we encounter images that are at once startlingly beautiful and disconcertingly surreal. A familiar face might morph into an enigmatic stranger. A cherished memory can dissolve into a cascade of symbols and sensations. Each dream, no matter how transient, holds within it the potential to unlock new perspectives on our waking lives. The paradox lies in the very act of dreaming, a process that seems to suspend the laws of time and space, allowing us to glimpse an alternate reality where the impossible becomes possible and where every fleeting moment is charged with significance. The creative energy of dreams is undeniable. In this state, the mind is liberated from the strict confines of logic and linear thought, venturing into realms of pure possibility. It is here that the seeds of innovation and artistic inspiration are sown, nurtured by the fertile interplay of subconscious impulses and the vivid symbolism that emerges unbidden. The dreaming paradox reminds us that creativity often blossoms in the tension between order and chaos, between the tangible world of waking life and the elusive, boundless potential of our inner vision. Yet, within this creative freedom lies an inherent duality. The dreams that enchant us with their surreal beauty can also unsettle us, revealing hidden anxieties and truths we might prefer to keep buried. In the midst of these oscillations, we find that the paradox of dreaming is not simply about the coexistence of opposites. It is about the dynamic tension that drives our journey towards self-discovery. Each night, as we surrender to the embrace of sleep, we engage in a dialogue with the parts of ourselves that remain uncharted during the daylight hours. This intimate conversation, though often cryptic and fragmented, holds the promise of transformation, urging us to integrate the lessons of our dreams into the narrative of our lives. Embracing the dreaming paradox means acknowledging that our inner world is not a place of clear-cut answers, but a landscape of perpetual inquiry. It is a realm where every image, every emotion, every fleeting whisper of insight carries the potential to alter our understanding of who we are. In learning to navigate this ever-changing domain, we come to appreciate that the paradox of dreams is not a puzzle to be solved once and for all, but a continuous invitation to explore, question, and evolve. The delicate balance between the lucid and the obscure in our dreams serves as a metaphor for the broader human experience, a reminder that life, with all its complexities, is best understood not through definitive answers, but through the rich, unending process of exploration. At its core, the dreaming paradox is both a sanctuary and a challenge, a realm where we are free to imagine without restraint, yet compelled to confront the depths of our own inner landscape. It calls us to relinquish the need for absolute certainty and to revel in the mystery that lies at the heart of existence. In doing so, we learn that the act of dreaming, with its ever-shifting symbols and narratives, is not an escape from reality, but a profound engagement with it. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and its capacity to find meaning in the interplay of light and shadow, presence and absence. In the end, the dreaming paradox stands as a powerful reminder that the most transformative journeys are not those marked by clear, linear progress, but those that wander through the hidden corridors of our subconscious. It encourages us to see our dreams as both reflections of our deepest truths and as windows into a world of infinite possibility. A world where the mystery of life is celebrated in every fleeting, yet eternal vision that dances across the canvas of our sleep. The Conundrum of Choice unfolds as a journey into the heart of what it means to decide, a delicate dance between the promise of freedom and the burden of responsibility. In our modern world, where an abundance of options seems to greet us at every turn, from the brands we choose to the career paths we follow, the act of choosing has become both a powerful expression of individuality and a source of profound anxiety. Each decision, no matter how small, carries with it the weight of possibility and the fear of regret, creating a labyrinth where every path seems to lead to both opportunity and uncertainty. At its core, choice is the essence of human freedom. It is the tool through which we shape our destiny, articulate our preferences, and assert our identity in a complex world. Yet, this same freedom often presents us with a paradox. The more choices we have, the harder it becomes to settle on one, and the more likely we are to wonder about the paths not taken. In the glow of endless options, our minds oscillate between excitement and overwhelm, caught in a continuous struggle to balance potential with practicality. This paradox deepens as we consider the psychological impact of decision-making. With every new option, the cognitive load increases, a process that can lead to decision fatigue and, ultimately, to paralysis. The relentless pursuit of the perfect choice can leave us questioning our judgment, fueling a cycle of second-guessing and regret. In this way, the very abundance that promises liberation can also become a source of confinement, locking us in a state of perpetual self-doubt and hesitation. Cultural forces play a significant role in amplifying this conundrum. In societies where consumerism and individualism are celebrated, the pressure to choose wisely is immense. Advertisements, social media, and peer comparisons bombard us with images of an ideal life, each one a subtle reminder that every choice contributes to the construction of a better self. Yet, this constant barrage of possibilities also makes it difficult to appreciate what we have, as the allure of something better perpetually lingers on the horizon. The pursuit of an elusive ideal can transform our decisions into a never-ending quest for perfection, where every choice is both a victory and a potential misstep. Philosophically, the conundrum of choice invites us to reflect on the nature of our own existence. Each decision is a brushstroke in the portrait of our lives, a moment where our inner values and desires meet the external realities of the world around us. Yet, as we piece together these moments, we are also reminded of the inherent uncertainty that lies beneath the surface. The path we choose not only defines who we are, but also obscures the infinite possibilities of what we might have been. This tension between certainty and doubt, between the chosen and the forsaken, is at the heart of the human condition, a constant negotiation between destiny and free will. In our personal lives, the conundrum of choice can be both exhilarating and exhausting. The thrill of envisioning multiple futures is tempered by the anxiety of making the wrong decision. This internal conflict is not merely about the outcome of our choices, but about the very process of choosing itself. It challenges us to consider whether the value of our decisions lies in their end results or in the act of deliberation, the journey of weighing our options, and the courage to embrace uncertainty. In a way, every choice becomes a microcosm of life's broader mysteries, a reflection of the interplay between hope and fear, ambition and resignation. Yet, within this intricate web of possibilities, there lies a hidden beauty. The conundrum of choice is also a celebration of our capacity to imagine, to aspire, and to transform our lives with every decision we make. It is a reminder that while the act of choosing may sometimes lead to uncertainty, it also opens up a world of infinite potential. Each decision, even when accompanied by the pangs of regret, contributes to our growth and our understanding of ourselves. In accepting the ambiguity of our choices, we learn to navigate life with a sense of resilience and openness, finding value not in the perfection of our decisions, but in the very act of striving toward a better future. As we stand at the crossroads of countless options, we are called to reconcile with the dual nature of choice. It is a force that liberates us, yet also binds us in its intricate dance of possibility and limitation. In the end, the conundrum of choice is not a puzzle to be solved once and for all, but a continuous dialogue with life, a reminder that every decision is a step into the unknown, a chance to redefine ourselves with every new sunrise. Embracing this paradox means acknowledging that our power lies not in the certainty of our choices, but in the strength to make them, to learn from them, and to keep moving forward despite the inevitable shadows of doubt. The inversion of reality challenges us to reimagine the world not as a fixed set of laws, but as a fluid canvas where everything we know is turned inside out. Imagine waking up one day to find that the solid ground beneath your feet has become a gentle, flowing current, and that the familiar outlines of your surroundings dissolve into a series of soft, shifting forms. In this altered state, what was once rigid becomes malleable, inviting us to question every assumption we have about how things should be. In this inverted world, the laws of physics seem to playfully bend and twist. Light no longer travels in straight lines, but arcs and spirals, creating halos of color that blur the edges of reality. Shadows stretch in impossible directions, merging with reflections to form images that are both familiar and alien. It is as if nature itself has decided to rewrite its own rules, urging us to see beauty in the unexpected and to embrace uncertainty as a source of creativity. As our senses adapt to this strange new order, we begin to perceive a deeper truth hidden beneath the surface. The inversion of reality is not merely a visual spectacle. It is an invitation to explore the inner workings of our minds. Our thoughts, like the world around us, become fluid and open to reinterpretation. Ideas that once seemed fixed now shift and evolve, echoing the transformative power of a reality that is constantly in flux. This dynamic interplay between the external and the internal suggests that our perceptions are not static reflections of the world, but active creations of our consciousness. The experience of this inverted reality can be both disorienting and liberating. For a moment, we may feel untethered from our daily routines, our familiar frameworks collapsing under the weight of a radically different perspective. Yet within that disorientation lies a profound opportunity, the chance to break free from the limitations imposed by habitual thought. When we let go of the need to cling to what is known, we open ourselves to a realm of endless possibility, a space where innovation and transformation become not only possible, but inevitable. Artists and philosophers have long been drawn to this idea, using the motif of inversion to express the tensions between order and chaos, certainty and doubt. In paintings, literature, and film, the inversion of reality is often depicted through surreal landscapes and mirror images that defy logical explanation. These creative explorations reveal that what we perceive as normal is only one version of reality, a version shaped by our limited senses and conditioned experiences. By challenging these boundaries, art invites us to imagine new ways of being, where contradictions coexist, and every ending is also a beginning. On a personal level, encountering an inverted reality forces us to confront our own internal landscapes. Our identities, which we have long thought to be fixed and unchanging, begin to shift under the pressure of a world that is anything but stable. In this state of flux, we might discover aspects of ourselves that were hidden by the routines of everyday life, a latent creativity, a previously unacknowledged resilience, or a deeper sense of connection to the mystery of existence. The inversion becomes a mirror, reflecting back to us the infinite potential for growth and transformation that lies within. This radical rethinking of reality also has profound implications for how we relate to the world and to one another. When the structures that once defined our interactions begin to crumble, we are left with a raw, unmediated experience of life. In the absence of rigid definitions, our relationships become more fluid and authentic. We begin to appreciate that every person, like every object in the inverted world, is a complex tapestry of contradictions and hidden depths. In this light, empathy and understanding emerge not from agreement, but from the recognition of our shared capacity for change. Ultimately, the inversion of reality is not an end in itself, but a doorway to a richer, more nuanced understanding of existence. It reminds us that the certainty we cling to is often an illusion, a construct built from the remnants of outdated paradigms. By embracing the fluidity and unpredictability of an inverted world, we learn to see beyond the surface, to question what is taken for granted, and to find beauty in the ever-changing dance of life. It is an invitation to become co-creators of our own reality, to challenge the status quo, and to discover that within every reversal lies the seed of new beginnings. The paradox of certainty invites us to stand at the crossroads of conviction and inquiry, to explore how the very certainty we seek to anchor our lives can sometimes become the barrier to deeper understanding. Imagine a moment when every decision, every thought, every belief seems crystal clear. A moment when the world appears to be mapped out in neat, unyielding lines. It is in these moments that certainty offers comfort and control, a sense of security amid life's uncertainties. And yet, if we look closer, we begin to see that this very certainty, so alluring in its promise of stability, can also confine us, narrowing the horizon of possibilities. At its core, certainty is a double-edged sword. On one side, it fuels our confidence, propelling us to take decisive action and to commit to a course of thought. We often cling to our certainties like lifelines, believing that if we can pin down one truth, we can make sense of the chaos around us. Whether it's a belief about our identity, a conviction in our abilities, or a fixed view of how the world should be, certainty offers a sense of order and clarity in a complex, unpredictable universe. Yet, the paradox lies in the fact that the more firmly we hold on to our certainties, the more we risk becoming blind to alternative perspectives. Like a tunnel vision that narrows our field of view, unwavering certainty can close off the possibility of learning something new. It creates an echo chamber where our assumptions are rarely challenged, and the dynamic nature of life becomes obscured. In our quest for final answers, we may inadvertently dismiss the fluidity that is inherent in every aspect of existence. Life, after all, is not a series of static moments, but a continuum of change where every conclusion is only temporary, each answer a stepping stone to further questions. Think of a sculptor who, by focusing solely on the final form, might miss the beauty in the process of transformation itself. When we see certainty as the final product, a completed masterpiece, we overlook the value of the journey, the evolving process of refinement and discovery. In the realm of science, for instance, every breakthrough is often followed by new mysteries. What we once considered to be a settled truth may later be seen as just one piece of an ever-expanding puzzle. The more we learn, the more we realize that our grasp on certainty is as fragile as it is comforting. This tension between certainty and openness is evident not only in scientific inquiry, but also in our personal lives. At times, we find solace in the certainty of routine, in the predictable rhythms of our daily existence, and yet it is often in the unexpected, the uncertain, that we experience the most profound growth. When we allow ourselves to embrace uncertainty, we open the door to creativity, innovation, and deeper self-awareness. It is in those moments of doubt, when the familiar dissolves into the unknown, that we learn to adapt, to question our assumptions, and ultimately, to evolve. The paradox of certainty also challenges us on a philosophical level. Many great thinkers have pondered whether absolute certainty is even attainable. Is it possible to claim a final truth in a universe that is in constant flux? Philosophers argue that the pursuit of certainty is less about discovering a fixed answer and more about engaging in an ongoing dialogue with the world, a conversation in which every conclusion naturally gives rise to new inquiries. In this light, certainty becomes not an end in itself, but a temporary resting place on a long and winding path of understanding. In our relationships and interactions too, the desire for certainty can sometimes lead to conflict. When we insist on a singular version of reality, we may find ourselves at odds with others who hold different perspectives. The rigidity of our certainties can create divisions, preventing us from truly connecting and empathizing with the diversity of human experience. Yet, when we learn to accept that our understanding is only one among many, we begin to appreciate the richness that comes from embracing multiple viewpoints. This openness not only deepens our relationships, but also fosters a collective wisdom that transcends individual limitations. Embracing the paradox of certainty requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to balance confidence with humility, to value questions as much as answers. It means recognizing that every certainty is, in essence, provisional, a snapshot of our current understanding that may evolve as new experiences and insights emerge. By remaining open to the possibility that our most cherished beliefs might one day be challenged or expanded, we cultivate a resilient and dynamic approach to life. We become not prisoners of our own assumptions, but explorers in a vast, ever-changing landscape of ideas. Ultimately, the paradox of certainty reminds us that the beauty of existence lies in its perpetual state of becoming. The quest for absolute certainty, while comforting, is also limiting. It closes off the vast expanse of what might be discovered if we allow ourselves to wander into the unknown. In accepting the fluidity of truth, we embrace a life rich with possibility, where every ending is but a beginning, and every answer opens the door to new mysteries. It is a call to live with curiosity, to welcome the unexpected, and to see in every moment not a fixed point of arrival, but a stepping stone on an infinite journey of exploration. The maze of memory beckons us into an intricate labyrinth where every corridor is lined with fragments of the past, waiting to be rediscovered. Imagine stepping into a vast, winding maze where the walls are constructed of faded photographs, whispered voices, and the scent of long-forgotten places. In this space, every turn and dead end holds a story, a memory that, like a delicate mosaic, is both fragmented and whole. As we wander through this maze, we are reminded that memory is not a static record, but a dynamic, ever-shifting landscape, shaped by our experiences, emotions, and the passage of time. In the depths of this maze, the familiar blends seamlessly with the mysterious. There are moments when a seemingly insignificant detail, a particular pattern of light on a weathered wall, the sound of footsteps echoing in a quiet corridor, can transport us back to a childhood day or a bittersweet farewell. These memories, though they may appear random, are woven together by the invisible threads of our personal history. They form a tapestry that is as complex as it is beautiful, inviting us to reflect on the connections between our past and our present selves. The very structure of the maze suggests that memory, much like a labyrinth, is a journey without a definitive end. There is no single path that leads from the entrance to the center. Instead, we are met with a multitude of winding routes, each representing a different facet of our life. Some pathways are well-trodden and familiar, echoing with the laughter of loved ones and the comfort of shared moments. Others are dark and overgrown, hinting at experiences we might have buried or forgotten, yet they remain an integral part of who we are. It is in navigating these diverse paths that we come to understand the dual nature of memory, its power to comfort and its potential to unsettle. As we traverse deeper into the maze, we may encounter chambers of vivid recollection where the intensity of emotion is palpable. These are the spaces where moments of joy, sorrow, love, and loss converge, creating a mosaic of feelings that can overwhelm the senses. In these inner sanctums, time seems to suspend, and we are invited to pause and immerse ourselves in the raw, unfiltered essence of our own experience. Here, the act of remembering becomes a transformative process, one that can heal old wounds, or conversely, remind us of our vulnerabilities. Yet, the maze of memory is not solely a repository of the past. It is also a living, breathing record of how we change over time. As we move through its corridors, the images and sounds of yesteryear are not fixed in place, but evolve with each new experience. What was once a sharp, clear recollection might soften and blend with other memories, reflecting the natural ebb and flow of our inner world. This continual transformation is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, which is capable of growth even as it carries the weight of what once was. In many ways, the maze itself is a metaphor for our journey of self-discovery. Every twist and turn challenges us to confront not only our cherished memories, but also the parts of ourselves that we might prefer to leave hidden. The forgotten corners of the maze can be daunting, filled with echoes of regret or loss, yet they also hold the promise of understanding and reconciliation. By daring to explore these shadowed recesses, we engage in a process of introspection that can lead to profound personal insight. It is within these moments of quiet reflection that we learn to appreciate the complexity of our own narrative, a story that is continuously written with each choice, each emotion, and each fleeting moment of clarity. The interplay between light and darkness in the maze is a constant reminder that memory is not about absolute preservation, but rather about interpretation. Just as a maze is lit by both the gentle glow of hope and the stark shadows of the past, so too are our memories colored by the emotions we felt at the time and the meaning we ascribe to them now. This delicate balance between remembrance and reinterpretation allows us to reshape our understanding of our own history, transforming pain into wisdom and regret into a stepping stone toward a more compassionate self. Ultimately, the maze of memory is an invitation to embrace the complexity of our inner lives. It reminds us that our past, with all its triumphs and tribulations, is an essential part of our identity, a mosaic of experiences that informs every decision we make and every dream we dare to pursue. As we navigate this labyrinth, we learn that the journey of memory is not about reaching a final destination, but about continually rediscovering ourselves in the myriad echoes of our own history. In the interplay between what we remember and what we choose to forget lies the profound mystery of being, urging us to honor every step of our journey, no matter how winding or unexpected. The puzzle of perception beckons us into a realm where reality is not simply given, but constantly constructed by the intricate interplay between our senses and our inner world. Imagine standing at the edge of a forest at dawn. The light filters through the trees, casting ever-shifting patterns on the ground, a scene that seems both familiar and mysteriously new with every glance. In that moment, what you see is not a mere reflection of the external world, but a dynamic mosaic assembled by your eyes, your brain, and the countless memories and emotions that color your view. At its core, perception is an active process. Our senses capture raw data, colors, shapes, sounds, textures, but it is our brain that transforms these signals into coherent images and experiences. Like an artist blending pigments on a palette, our minds integrate sensory information with past experiences, cultural influences, and expectations. This synthesis, however, is not a perfect replication of reality. Optical illusions remind us that what we perceive can be deceiving. Lines may bend, images may shift, and depth can be an illusion, all demonstrating that our mind is not a passive receiver, but a creative interpreter, ever busy filling in gaps and smoothing over inconsistencies. This creative construction makes perception deeply personal. Two people standing in the same place can experience the same scene in entirely different ways. For one, a city street might evoke memories of childhood, tinged with warmth and nostalgia. For another, the same street may appear cold and indifferent, a reminder of urban solitude. Our individual histories, emotions, and cultural backgrounds act as filters, shaping our interpretation of the world. In this way, perception is like a unique fingerprint, a blend of objective data and subjective influence that renders each of our experiences distinct. Moreover, the puzzle of perception extends beyond our interaction with the physical world to influence how we understand ourselves and our relationships. Consider how we view our own reflection. The mirror image we see is familiar yet reversed, a subtle reminder that even our most intimate self-image is mediated by perception. Similarly, when we observe the people around us, we don't just see their faces, we see them through the lens of our beliefs, biases, and emotions. A kind gesture might be magnified into a symbol of deep connection, while a fleeting frown could be misinterpreted as lasting disapproval. Thus, our perceptions of others are not static truths, but evolving narratives, constantly revised with every new piece of information. Art and literature have long explored this mysterious terrain, using symbolism and metaphor to capture the essence of perception. Surrealist painters, for instance, deliberately distort the ordinary to force viewers into a state of wonder and questioning. Their canvases become a visual representation of the mind's ability to create reality, a reality where what we see is only a starting point for endless interpretation. Similarly, poets and writers use the language of dreams, mirrors, and shadows to evoke the intangible nature of perception, suggesting that our experience of the world is a dance between the seen and the unseen, the tangible and the mysterious. Science, too, offers profound insights into the puzzle of perception. Neuroscientists have discovered that our brain actively predicts incoming sensory data, often filling in details based on prior knowledge. This predictive processing means that our experience is partly a reconstruction, a best guess of what reality might be, rather than a flawless recording. This revelation is both humbling and inspiring. It challenges the notion of objective truth and encourages us to appreciate the beauty of uncertainty. When we understand that our perceptions are fallible and malleable, we open ourselves to the possibility of new perspectives and continuous learning. In everyday life, this dynamic nature of perception can have practical implications. It teaches us the value of questioning our initial impressions and remaining open to alternative viewpoints. By recognizing that our perception is just one of many possible interpretations, we become more empathetic, more willing to engage in dialogue, and better able to appreciate the diversity of human experience. Whether it's re-evaluating our response to a challenging situation or seeking to understand someone's point of view, acknowledging the puzzle of perception fosters a mindset of growth and adaptability. Ultimately, the puzzle of perception is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is a lived experience that shapes every aspect of our existence. It reminds us that reality, in all its complexity, is not a fixed, immutable thing, but a continuously evolving tapestry woven from threads of sensory data, personal history, and collective culture. In this fluid interplay, we find the courage to embrace uncertainty and the freedom to reimagine the world in ever-changing hues. As we journey through life, each moment offers us a new opportunity to peer into the depths of our own perception, to question, to wonder, and to rediscover the richness of experience. Every glance, every sound, every touch is an invitation to engage with the world in a deeply personal way, to uncover layers of meaning that might otherwise remain hidden. And in that ongoing exploration, we come to understand that the true magic lies not in attaining a final, definitive picture of reality, but in reveling in the endless, dynamic puzzle that is perception. The riddle of the cosmos beckons us to contemplate an expanse so vast and mysterious that it challenges the very limits of our understanding. Imagine standing on a quiet hill at night, gazing upward into a sky strewn with countless stars, each one a distant, twinkling enigma. In that moment, the universe unfolds before us as a grand puzzle, a tapestry of light and shadow woven together by forces we're only beginning to comprehend. The cosmos, with its swirling galaxies, pulsating nebulae, and unfathomable voids, invites us to explore a reality where every celestial body tells a story, and every speck of stardust is part of an intricate narrative that stretches back to the dawn of time. In this vast expanse, the laws of nature operate with both precision and poetic mystery. Gravity, the invisible hand that binds stars to galaxies and planets to their orbits, orchestrates a delicate dance between order and chaos. It is the force that shapes the spiraling arms of a galaxy and the violent collapse of a star into a black hole, phenomena that seem at once both predictable and deeply enigmatic. As we peer into the night, we witness not merely a static array of distant lights, but a dynamic, ever-evolving performance where creation and destruction are in constant dialogue. Our scientific instruments and telescopes have granted us glimpses into this cosmic play, revealing the dazzling brilliance of supernovae and the serene beauty of cosmic microwave background radiation, a remnant of the universe's earliest moments. Yet, despite these advances, the more we learn, the more we are confronted by the enormity of the unknown. Dark matter and dark energy, for instance, make up the bulk of the cosmos, remaining stubborn mysteries that elude our detection and challenge our understanding of the universe's structure. They are the silent players in the cosmic drama, reminding us that the visible is only a fraction of the total reality. The riddle deepens as we reflect on our own place within this grand design. From our small blue planet suspended in the void, we can only marvel at the sheer scale of the universe, and yet we find ourselves inextricably linked to it. The atoms that compose our bodies were forged in the hearts of ancient stars, and the same cosmic processes that govern the motion of galaxies also underlie the rhythms of life on Earth. This intimate connection imbues the cosmos with a sense of profound relevance, an eternal reminder that we are both observers and participants in a universe that is vast, complex, and infinitely mysterious. Philosophers and poets have long been drawn to the cosmos as a metaphor for the human condition. In its infinite expanse, the universe mirrors our own quest for meaning, reflecting our hopes, doubts, and the inherent longing to understand our origins and destiny. The stars become symbols of aspiration, the dark voids a canvas upon which we project our fears and uncertainties, And in the interplay between light and darkness, order and chaos, we find a poignant reflection of our internal lives, a constant balancing act between the known and the unknowable. The riddle of the cosmos is not one that can be solved with a single definitive answer. Instead, it is a question that invites perpetual inquiry and wonder. Each new discovery in astronomy opens doors to further questions. How did the universe come to be? What lies beyond the observable horizon? Are we alone in this vast expanse, or does life, in some form, pervade the cosmos? These questions challenge us to continually expand our horizons, to push the boundaries of knowledge, and to embrace the beauty of uncertainty. In a way, the quest to unravel the cosmic riddle becomes a journey of both scientific exploration and spiritual introspection, a dual pursuit that enriches our understanding of existence. As we stand on the precipice of what we know and venture into the realm of the unknown, the cosmos reminds us of its timeless rhythm, a ceaseless interplay of creation and decay, of order emerging from chaos. This eternal dance is both humbling and inspiring. It calls on us to adopt a posture of humility, to acknowledge that our current understanding is but a small piece of a much larger mosaic, and to remain open to the continual unfolding of the universe's secrets. Ultimately, the riddle of the cosmos is an invitation, a call to look upward and inward, to explore the outer reaches of space as well as the depths of our own consciousness. It teaches us that the journey toward understanding is as important as any destination, that the process of questioning and seeking is a fundamental part of what it means to be human. In this ongoing quest, every observation, every theory, and every moment of wonder becomes a vital piece of the puzzle, contributing to an ever-evolving portrait of the universe and our place within it. The duality of being invites us to reflect on the inherent oppositions that shape our existence, a dynamic interplay of light and shadow, strength and vulnerability, order and chaos. Imagine life as a vast tapestry, where every thread represents a facet of our being, interwoven with its counterpart in an eternal dance. In this intricate design, every joy is tempered by sorrow, every moment of clarity carries a hint of mystery, and every act of creation is shadowed by the possibility of destruction. This constant interplay forms the very essence of who we are. At the core of the duality of being is the realization that we are not defined solely by one aspect of our nature. Instead, we exist as a harmonious blend of seemingly contradictory forces. Consider the balance between our rational mind and our emotional heart. Our intellect drives us to seek order, understanding, and precision, while our emotions infuse life with passion, spontaneity, and a sense of wonder. It is in the collision of these forces that true growth occurs, where logical analysis meets creative intuition, and the resulting synthesis leads to breakthroughs both personal and collective. This duality also manifests in our relationships with others. In every encounter, we see reflections of our own contradictions mirrored back at us. The love we offer is intertwined with the potential for pain. Our trust opens the door to both connection and betrayal. Yet it is precisely these contrasts that deepen the meaning of our interactions. They challenge us to embrace complexity and to recognize that understanding another person often means acknowledging the full spectrum of their experiences, both the light and the dark. The natural world mirrors this duality as well. The cycle of day and night, the changing of the seasons, and the ebb and flow of the tides all serve as reminders that opposites are not in conflict, but are essential complements that sustain life. Just as darkness makes the light visible, periods of struggle and hardship often give way to moments of profound insight and renewal. In nature, we learn that the interplay of extremes is not a sign of instability, but a necessary condition for balance and evolution. Philosophically, the duality of being has been a subject of contemplation for millennia. Ancient traditions speak of yin and yang, the idea that all things consist of complementary forces that together create harmony. This ancient wisdom resonates with modern insights from psychology and neuroscience, which reveal that our brains are wired to process both logical and emotional information, integrating them into a cohesive understanding of the world. In this light, our dual nature is not a flaw to be overcome, but a powerful asset that enables us to navigate the complexities of existence with flexibility and resilience. As we journey through life, the duality of being challenges us to hold space for uncertainty. The quest for absolute certainty can be a comforting illusion, yet it is within the tension of opposites that true wisdom is born. When we learn to embrace the contradictions within ourselves, the simultaneous capacity for strength and fragility, for compassion and assertiveness, we open ourselves to a deeper, more authentic way of living. This acceptance allows us to see that our identity is not a fixed point, but an ever-evolving process, a continuous dialogue between the different parts of our soul. In our creative endeavors too, the duality of being is a wellspring of inspiration. Artists, writers, and musicians have long drawn on the tension between opposing forces to create works that resonate on a profound level. Whether it is the interplay of light and shadow in a painting, or the juxtaposition of harmonious chords and dissonant notes in a piece of music, the creative process often mirrors our inner conflict, transforming it into expressions of beauty and truth. Through art, we are reminded that the struggle between opposites is not something to be feared, but rather a source of infinite creative energy. Ultimately, the duality of being is a call to live with open hearts and inquisitive minds. It asks us to celebrate our complexities and to see the beauty in every contradiction. By recognizing that our identity is a mosaic of light and dark, of order and chaos, we can approach life with a sense of balance and gratitude. Each moment, with its inherent tensions and harmonies, offers us an opportunity to grow and to evolve. In embracing our dual nature, we not only discover the depths of our own potential, but also learn to appreciate the intricate, ever-changing dance of existence that unites us all. The uncertainty principle invites us to enter a world where the quest for absolute precision gives way to the beauty of ambiguity, a realm in which the very act of measurement reshapes the fabric of reality. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast quantum landscape, where particles are not pinpoint objects, but ripples of probability dancing in an endless sea of potential. In this world, the more precisely we attempt to capture one detail, such as the position of a particle, the less certain we become about its momentum, and vice versa. This inherent fuzziness is not a flaw in our measurement techniques, but a fundamental feature of the universe itself. At its core, the uncertainty principle, first articulated by Werner Heisenberg, challenges our intuitive understanding of the physical world. It tells us that the act of observation is not a passive receipt of information, but an active process that influences what is observed. In our everyday experience, we expect that objects have definite positions and speeds. However, in the quantum realm, particles exist in a state of probability until they are observed. This means that reality, at its most fundamental level, is not fixed, but a swirling interplay of possibilities that collapse into a definitive state only when we choose to measure them. This notion stretches beyond the confines of physics, offering profound philosophical implications. The uncertainty principle reminds us that the pursuit of complete knowledge might be an endless journey rather than a destination. Just as a particle's behavior cannot be pinned down with absolute certainty, our understanding of life and existence is similarly fluid. Every choice we make, every observation of our world, is colored by the inherent unpredictability that surrounds us. This realization invites us to embrace uncertainty not as a source of anxiety, but as a wellspring of creativity and discovery. Consider how this principle applies to our personal lives. When we strive for certainty in our relationships, careers, or personal identities, we often overlook the beauty that comes with the unknown. The spaces between what is known and what is yet to be discovered are where transformation occurs. It is in these moments of uncertainty that we are forced to question, adapt, and grow. Much like the quantum particles that defy definitive categorization, we too are in a constant state of flux, evolving with every experience, every decision, every unexpected twist along the way. In the realm of art and literature, the uncertainty principle has long served as a powerful metaphor. Artists capture the fleeting, transient nature of existence, portraying not fixed forms, but dynamic expressions that invite multiple interpretations. A painting may depict a landscape that shifts subtly with every glance, or a piece of music might evoke a sense of longing and unpredictability, mirroring the way our thoughts and feelings are never static but continually in motion. These creative expressions echo the scientific insight that certainty is often an illusion, and that it is the interplay between clarity and chaos that gives life its depth and complexity. Scientific exploration, too, reveals that our understanding of the universe is perpetually provisional. Every breakthrough in quantum physics opens up new mysteries. For instance, the discovery of quantum entanglement, where particles become inexplicably linked across vast distances, has further shattered our conventional notions of locality and determinism. These phenomena force us to accept that the universe is not a neatly ordered machine, but a living, evolving tapestry woven from both order and randomness. In this grand scheme, the uncertainty inherent in nature is not a problem to be solved, but a fundamental aspect of reality that continually propels us to explore, question, and innovate. The uncertainty principle also serves as a reminder of the limitations of our own perception and understanding. It challenges us to recognize that our senses, and even our most advanced instruments, can only provide a glimpse into the true nature of things. What we perceive is a filtered version of reality, a constructed narrative that helps us navigate an overwhelmingly complex world. Accepting this can be liberating. It allows us to remain open to new ideas, to be receptive to the unexpected, and to appreciate the mystery that lies at the heart of every discovery. In our daily lives, embracing uncertainty can transform the way we approach challenges and opportunities. When we release the need for absolute control, we become more resilient, more adaptable. We learn to see setbacks not as definitive failures, but as essential steps in an ongoing process of growth and learning. The very act of living becomes a dance with uncertainty, a creative journey where each moment is an invitation to explore uncharted territory. In this light, the uncertainty principle is not a harbinger of chaos, but a celebration of the infinite possibilities that arise when we are willing to let go of certainty and embrace the unknown. Ultimately, the uncertainty principle teaches us that the search for truth is an endless, ever-evolving journey. It reveals that the universe, with all its marvels and enigmas, is not governed by static absolutes, but by the interplay of chance and necessity. In accepting this, we learn to live with a sense of wonder and humility, acknowledging that every answer leads to new questions, and that every moment of uncertainty holds the promise of discovery. This principle, both scientific and philosophical, challenges us to continually explore the delicate balance between what we know and what remains forever just beyond our grasp. A dance that is as beautiful as it is boundless. The paradox of now invites us to consider the extraordinary nature of the present moment, a fleeting instance that is at once the most real and the most elusive. Picture yourself sitting quietly, aware of the gentle rhythm of your breath and the steady beat of your heart. In that very instant, you exist fully in the now, yet the moment is slipping away even as you become aware of it. It is as if the present were a delicate bubble, here 1 second, gone the next, leaving behind traces of memory and the promise of what is yet to come. This paradox emerges from the way we live our lives. We are constantly planning for the future or ruminating on the past, often missing the rich, vibrant quality of the current moment. The now is both a point of absolute clarity and a point of constant transition. It is the only moment in which life actually unfolds, yet it is defined by its impermanence. The very act of recognizing the present is a kind of miracle, a moment of lucidity that fades as soon as we try to hold on to it. In our minds, we construct narratives of what was and what might be, but the true reality, the essence of life, exists only in this ever-moving present. At the heart of this paradox is the tension between our desire for permanence and the natural flow of time. We seek security and certainty, clinging to familiar thoughts and routines, but time is relentless and ever-changing. Like the gentle flow of a river, the now is constantly renewed, yet never exactly the same. Each passing moment carries the potential for transformation, urging us to embrace both the beauty of what is and the promise of what might be. In this light, the now becomes a powerful teacher, offering us lessons in impermanence, resilience, and the art of letting go. The paradox of now is also deeply intertwined with our experience of self. We often identify with our thoughts, emotions, and past experiences, yet these too are transient. When we focus fully on the present, we begin to see that our identity is not a fixed entity, but a fluid process, continuously shaped by each new moment. This awareness can be both liberating and unsettling. It invites us to let go of the need for a permanent self, to instead appreciate the unfolding journey of being. In that state of mindful presence, the boundaries between self and world blur, revealing a unity that is as profound as it is elusive. Philosophers and spiritual teachers have long grappled with the paradox of now. Thinkers like Eckhart Tolle and Alan Watts have reminded us that true wisdom lies not in accumulating knowledge about the past or future, but in fully inhabiting the present. They suggest that the now is where true creativity, love, and connection arise. When we allow ourselves to be fully present, we tap into a reservoir of energy and insight that is otherwise lost in the distractions of constant thought. This is the transformative power of living in the now. It liberates us from the shackles of regret and anxiety, allowing us to experience life with a sense of wonder and openness. Yet, even as we strive to live in the present, we must acknowledge the inherent challenge. The present moment, by its very nature, is ephemeral. It demands that we surrender control, that we accept the uncertainty of life without clinging to it. In this surrender, there is a kind of strength, a quiet resilience that arises from embracing the unknown. The paradox of now then is not a problem to be solved, but an invitation to explore. It calls on us to be present with our discomfort and our joy alike, to see the beauty in the transient, and to understand that every moment, no matter how brief, is filled with meaning. In the end, the paradox of now reminds us that life is a series of ever-changing moments, each one unique and irreplaceable. It is a call to slow down, to breathe, and to savor the gift of the present. By accepting that the now is both fleeting and eternal, we can learn to live with a deeper sense of presence and gratitude. In doing so, we open ourselves to the full richness of life, a life that unfolds not in a static frame, but in a dynamic dance of moments, each one a step in the beautiful, unpredictable journey of being. The puzzle of infinity challenges our minds to grasp the unimaginable, a concept that stretches beyond the finite boundaries of our experience and into the realm of the eternal. Picture, if you will, a starry sky that seems to extend forever, each twinkling light a reminder of an endless expanse. Infinity is like that vast canvas, an ever-unfolding mystery that beckons us to explore not only the limitless reaches of space, but also the boundless depths of our own consciousness. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast desert where the horizon seems to vanish into nothingness. As you gaze out, every grain of sand represents a moment, a thought, or a possibility. In that endless sea, there is no beginning or end, only an eternal present that continuously renews itself. This vision encapsulates the paradox of infinity. It is both a static concept and a dynamic process, ever constant and ever changing. We see infinity in the mathematics of endless series, in the spiraling galaxies that populate our universe, and even in the cyclic nature of life itself. In mathematics, infinity is more than a number. It is a symbol of unending potential. Consider the idea of an endless sequence. No matter how far you count, there is always another number waiting to be discovered. This numerical infinity is not just abstract theory. It is the backbone of calculus and the foundation upon which modern science builds its understanding of the universe. Yet, even as mathematicians harness the power of infinity to solve complex problems, they are reminded of its elusive nature. Infinity cannot be contained, measured, or fully comprehended, and in this way, it mirrors the very essence of mystery. Philosophically, infinity has been a source of wonder and debate for centuries. Thinkers have pondered whether the infinite is an inherent part of the cosmos, or merely a construct of the human mind. The idea that the universe might be infinite, a never-ending tapestry of matter and energy, both comforts and terrifies us. It offers a glimpse into the possibility that there is always more to learn, more to explore, and more to become. At the same time, the infinite can seem overwhelming, a vast expanse that defies our need for certainty and structure. In grappling with the concept of infinity, we are forced to confront our own limitations. and to accept that some mysteries may remain forever beyond our grasp. This duality of infinity is also evident in the arts. Poets and painters have long used infinity as a metaphor for the human condition, an expression of both our aspirations and our existential doubts. In a painting, an endless horizon might evoke feelings of liberation and awe, yet it can also stir a sense of isolation, a reminder that we are but small fragments in an immense, unfathomable whole. Similarly, in literature, the infinite often symbolizes the endless journey of self-discovery, a quest that is as much about embracing uncertainty as it is about seeking answers. Through these artistic expressions, infinity becomes not just a mathematical or cosmic principle, but a deeply personal experience that resonates with our innermost dreams and fears. Even in the natural world, we encounter echoes of infinity: the delicate branching of a tree, the intricate patterns of a snowflake, or the vast networks of roots beneath the forest floor, all hint at the infinite complexity that lies hidden in every corner of existence. Nature shows us that what appears to be finite and contained is actually a reflection of processes that extend far beyond what we can see. Every living organism, every natural phenomenon, is part of an intricate web that stretches across time and space, a reminder that the finite and the infinite are inextricably linked. The puzzle of infinity, then, is not simply a question of size or quantity. It is a profound exploration of possibility, mystery, and meaning. It invites us to challenge our conventional notions of time, space, and identity, encouraging us to see the world as an ever-expanding horizon of potential. It asks us to consider that every ending might be a new beginning, and every limit, once reached, could reveal a doorway to further discovery. In our own lives, the concept of infinity serves as both inspiration and reflection. It reminds us that our personal journeys are part of a much larger narrative, one that is continuously evolving. The dreams we chase, the relationships we build, and the memories we create, all these pieces are part of an endless mosaic that defines who we are. Like the infinite, our experiences cannot be fully captured or confined by simple definitions. They are vast, multifaceted, and beautifully mysterious. Ultimately, the puzzle of infinity is an invitation to embrace wonder and curiosity. It teaches us that the search for understanding is not a destination, but a journey, one that is filled with as many questions as answers. As we ponder the infinite, we learn to celebrate both the known and the unknown, to find comfort in the chaos of possibility, and to see that the beauty of existence lies in its endless potential. In the dance between the finite and the infinite, we discover a deeper truth: that life itself is an ever-unfolding enigma, a puzzle whose solution is not a single answer, but a continuous invitation to explore, imagine, and dream. The Labyrinth of Thought invites us to wander through a vast, intricate maze that exists not outside of us, but within the recesses of our own minds. Imagine a labyrinth where every corridor and hidden passage represents a different idea, a fleeting memory, or a lingering emotion. As you step into this inner maze, the familiar boundaries of logic and certainty dissolve, and you find yourself navigating a network of twisting paths that lead to both revelation and mystery. In this space, thought is not linear. It is a winding journey where every turn offers a new perspective, and every dead end holds the potential for unexpected insight. At the entrance of this labyrinth, the mind is like a blank map, ready to be charted by experiences, reflections, and the quiet murmur of intuition. The initial path is often clear, lit by the bright, direct light of reason and conscious decision. Yet as you progress deeper, the corridors become shrouded in shadows, rooms filled with forgotten memories and long-suppressed feelings that suddenly resurface. Here, the boundaries between what is rational and what is emotional blur, revealing that our thoughts are not separate entities, but interconnected strands woven together by our unique life story. Each pathway in the labyrinth is marked by choices: which idea to follow, which memory to revisit, which emotion to embrace. Some paths lead to moments of clarity, a sudden understanding of a long-standing question, or a breakthrough in creative expression, while others spiral into uncertainty, challenging us to reconsider beliefs we once held as truth. The maze is alive with paradox. It is at once a sanctuary of self-discovery and a puzzle that resists definitive answers. The more you explore, the more you realize that every conclusion births new questions, and every solution transforms into a deeper enigma. In this inner landscape, the interplay of light and dark is ever present. The bright corridors symbolize the moments when thought is clear and purposeful, when ideas flow with effortless clarity. Conversely, the shadowed passages represent those times of introspection when doubt and ambiguity reign, and the mind must grapple with the complexities of existence. It is in these darker recesses that our deepest fears and hidden desires come to light, not to terrify, but to guide us toward a more integrated understanding of ourselves. The labyrinth teaches us that both light and darkness are essential. Each provides context for the other, and together they create a balanced, dynamic whole. As you navigate the labyrinth of thought, you begin to notice that the maze is not static. It shifts and evolves with every new experience, every moment of reflection. What once appeared as a barrier may, upon revisiting, reveal a hidden doorway to further insight. This continuous evolution reminds us that our minds are not fixed vessels, but living entities, constantly growing and adapting. The journey through the labyrinth is a metaphor for life itself, a series of explorations, setbacks, and triumphs that ultimately lead to a deeper understanding of our place in the world. The labyrinth of thought also reflects the duality of our inner selves. In its complex network of paths, we encounter both the rational thinker and the intuitive dreamer, the practical planner and the imaginative wanderer. These dual aspects are not in opposition, but in constant dialogue, each informing and enriching the other. The rational paths may provide structure and clarity, while the more meandering, intuitive routes offer creativity and unexpected beauty. In embracing this duality, we learn that the true richness of thought lies in its diversity, the ability to hold contrasting ideas and yet find harmony in their coexistence. Ultimately, the journey through the labyrinth of thought is an invitation to engage deeply with the essence of our own minds. It challenges us to confront our limitations and to celebrate our capacity for infinite exploration. There is no final destination in this maze, no ultimate answer that concludes the quest. Instead, every step is a new beginning, every discovery a reminder that the mind is a boundless territory of possibility. In the act of wandering through this labyrinth, we not only uncover the hidden corners of our consciousness, but also open ourselves up to the continual evolution of our being. The labyrinth of thought stands as a testament to the beauty of intellectual and emotional exploration, a reminder that life, with all its complexities and contradictions, is a journey of perpetual discovery. It encourages us to embrace uncertainty, to cherish the interplay between certainty and doubt, and to see our own minds as ever-expanding landscapes. In doing so, we become both the explorers and the architects of our inner worlds, constructing a rich, vibrant mosaic of experience that is as infinite and mysterious as the labyrinth itself. The illusion of boundaries invites us to question the divisions we perceive in the world around us and within ourselves. Imagine standing in a field at dawn where the horizon seems to stretch endlessly and the lines that separate earth from sky vanish in the early light. In that moment, the boundaries we once took for granted dissolve, revealing a continuity that defies our usual way of categorizing reality. These perceived borders between people, places, ideas are often constructs, not inherent separations etched in nature. From a young age, we learn to recognize boundaries. They are taught to us as walls, fences, and lines on a map, designed to define territories, protect identities, and maintain order. Yet, as we grow and expand our awareness, we begin to see that these divisions are not as solid as they appear. Whether it's the national borders that separate countries or the invisible lines that demarcate social roles, these barriers are human-made. They are tools for organizing experience, but they are not absolute. In many ways, the boundaries that seem so rigid are, in fact, fluid, shifting with time, perspective, and context. Consider the realm of personal identity. We often define ourselves by labels, our race, gender, occupation, and even our beliefs, each acting as a boundary that outlines who we are. But these identities, while useful, are only parts of a larger whole. The person you are today is not confined by the labels you've accumulated over time. Instead, you are a dynamic, evolving being whose essence transcends any single category. When we begin to look past the surface, we discover that the divisions between us and them are more illusion than reality. We share the same fundamental experiences of joy, suffering, aspiration, and fear, uniting us in ways that defy our constructed differences. In the natural world, too, the notion of boundaries is often an illusion. A river may seem to define the edge of a territory, but it also nourishes the land on both sides, its waters merging and diverging without heed to human demarcations. Forests blend into grasslands, and the sky above knows no borders. Even in the microscopic realm, scientists find that the very particles that make up our bodies are in constant flux, intermingling with their surroundings in a ceaseless dance of energy and matter. The boundaries that we perceive between distinct objects, or between ourselves and the world, are often arbitrary, convenient for communication, but not reflective of the true, interwoven nature of existence. This illusion of boundaries extends into the realm of ideas as well. We like to think in terms of binary oppositions, right and wrong, good and evil, black and white. These dualities simplify the complexity of life, offering us clear lines to follow in a world that is anything but simple. However, when we scrutinize these distinctions, we find that the lines blur, revealing a spectrum of possibilities rather than a set of fixed points. Philosophers and scientists alike have long argued that the truth lies not in the extremes, but in the interplay between them, a dynamic balance that is constantly shifting. The truth, it seems, is that boundaries in thought are as permeable and mutable as those in the physical world. In our daily lives, this awareness of the illusory nature of boundaries can be both liberating and challenging. It invites us to let go of rigid categorizations and to approach our experiences with a sense of openness and curiosity. When we begin to see the world as a continuous whole, where every part is connected to every other, we start to appreciate the beauty of unity amid diversity. This perspective can transform our interactions with others, fostering empathy and understanding. By recognizing that the barriers between us are constructed rather than inherent, we can break down the walls of prejudice, fear, and isolation that often divide our communities. At a deeper level, the illusion of boundaries is a call to explore our inner landscapes. Our thoughts, emotions, and dreams do not exist in isolation. They are interwoven, overlapping, and constantly influencing one another. In moments of introspection, we may come to realize that the lines we draw within ourselves, between our rational mind and our emotional heart, between our conscious self and our subconscious impulses, are not rigid compartments, but fluid transitions. This inner permeability is what allows for growth, creativity, and transformation. It reminds us that the process of becoming is continuous and that every moment offers an opportunity to redefine who we are. Ultimately, the illusion of boundaries is a profound invitation to embrace a more integrated view of existence. It challenges us to see past the superficial divisions that fragment our understanding and to recognize the interconnectedness that binds all things together. Whether we are gazing at the endless sky, engaging in meaningful dialogue with another person, or delving into the depths of our own consciousness, we are continually reminded that the separations we perceive are in many ways an artifice, a temporary framework imposed on a reality that is fundamentally seamless and united. In this light, to perceive the world without the lens of strict boundaries is to experience a sense of freedom and possibility. It is to recognize that every encounter is part of a larger tapestry, where the threads of life are woven together in intricate, ever-changing patterns. And as we let go of the need to define and confine, we open ourselves to the true wonder of existence, a boundless expanse where every moment is an invitation to connect, to explore, and to transcend the limitations of our own making. The enigma of light and shadow beckons us into a realm where the interplay between brightness and darkness reveals truths both seen and concealed. Imagine a world where every ray of light carries with it a promise of revelation, while every shadow harbors secrets waiting to be discovered. In this dance of illumination and obscurity, we find a metaphor for the human condition, a constant oscillation between clarity and mystery, hope and despair, certainty and doubt. In the physical world, light is the force that brings life to our surroundings, painting our days with vibrant hues and delineating the forms that populate our reality. It is the source of warmth and visibility, the catalyst for growth, and the giver of energy. Yet, where there is light, there must also be shadow. Shadows created by the obstruction of light define the contours of objects, adding depth and texture to our perceptions. They are not merely the absence of light, but an essential part of the visual symphony, a subtle reminder that every element in nature exists in relation to its opposite. This dynamic between light and shadow extends far beyond the realm of the physical. In art, painters and sculptors have long exploited this contrast to evoke emotion, to create drama, and to invite viewers into a deeper dialogue with their work. The chiaroscuro of the Renaissance, for instance, used stark contrasts to give three-dimensional form to figures and landscapes, symbolizing the eternal struggle between good and evil, presence and absence. Similarly, in literature and philosophy, light often symbolizes knowledge, purity, and truth, while shadow represents mystery, the unknown, and sometimes even the darker corners of the human psyche. Yet the enigma lies precisely in the ambiguity of these symbols. For every moment of brilliant clarity, there is a corresponding time of obscurity. A moment when what is illuminated simultaneously casts a shadow, hinting at layers of meaning beneath the surface. This duality invites us to consider that our understanding of the world is not absolute, but rather a continuous interplay between what is revealed and what remains hidden. The light may show us the path ahead, but the shadow suggests that there are aspects of that path yet to be understood, mysteries that beckon us to look deeper. On a personal level, our inner lives mirror this eternal interplay. Our moments of insight, when the light of awareness shines brightly, are inevitably accompanied by periods of uncertainty and introspection, the shadows of our thoughts and emotions. These darker moments are not to be feared. Instead, they are integral to our growth, offering us a space to reflect, to question, and ultimately, to transform. In embracing both our strengths and our vulnerabilities, we come to understand that our true self is a tapestry woven from both luminous and dark threads, each contributing to the richness of our experience. The enigma of light and shadow also challenges us to recognize that the boundaries we perceive are often illusions. Just as a shadow cannot exist without light, the apparent divisions between what we consider opposites may be more interconnected than they seem. The interplay of brightness and darkness creates a dynamic equilibrium, a balance that is essential to the rhythm of life. When we allow ourselves to see beyond the rigid distinctions, we begin to appreciate that every moment holds the potential for both revelation and mystery, and that every experience, whether bathed in light or cloaked in shadow, contributes to our evolving understanding of the world. Ultimately, the enigma of light and shadow is an invitation to embrace the full spectrum of existence. It calls us to celebrate our moments of clarity, while also honoring the wisdom that emerges from the dark. In the interplay of light and shadow, we find a powerful metaphor for transformation, a reminder that within every ending lies the seed of a new beginning, and that every shadow, no matter how deep, is shaped by the light that created it. This eternal dance teaches us that life is not about choosing one over the other, but about finding harmony in the coexistence of both. The paradox of silence invites us into a realm where the absence of sound speaks volumes, revealing depths of meaning that often go unnoticed. Imagine sitting in a quiet room where no external noise disrupts your thoughts, a silence so profound that it seems to echo with its own presence. In that stillness, silence transforms from a mere absence of sound into an active, living force, a space where the inner dialogue of the mind comes into sharp focus. At first glance, silence may appear to be nothing more than emptiness, a void where communication has ceased. Yet, on closer reflection, it becomes clear that silence is anything but empty. It is in this quiet that we often find the raw material of creativity and insight. Without the constant clamor of external distractions, the mind is free to wander, to explore hidden recesses of memory and emotion that are usually drowned out by the noise of daily life. In this way, silence serves as a mirror, reflecting back to us the intricate landscapes of our inner world. This paradox lies in the dual nature of silence. On one hand, silence is associated with calm, peace, and even spiritual transcendence. Many traditions, from Zen Buddhism to contemplative Christian practices, view silence as a pathway to enlightenment, a means to quiet the mind and access deeper layers of awareness. In these moments of deep quiet, we are invited to listen not only with our ears, but with our entire being, opening ourselves to a kind of understanding that transcends words and concepts. On the other hand, silence can also be fraught with tension and unease. In a conversation, for instance, a prolonged silence may feel heavy, loaded with unspoken meaning or unresolved conflict. It can be a space where emotions, grief, anger, or disappointment linger in the void, challenging us to confront feelings that are difficult to express. In this sense, silence is not simply a sanctuary of peace, but also a reminder of the things left unsaid, the gaps between our intentions and our expressions. Consider the silence that follows a profound loss. In that quiet aftermath, words often seem inadequate, unable to capture the full weight of our sorrow. Yet within that silence, there is a profound, unspoken understanding, a shared language of grief that can unite us in our vulnerability. This kind of silence, though painful, holds a mirror to our humanity, revealing the deep interconnectedness of our experiences. It teaches us that sometimes the most powerful communication occurs not through words, but through the quiet acknowledgement of our shared silence. The paradox of silence extends beyond personal experience and into the fabric of the natural world. Think of the stillness of a snowy landscape or the quiet expanse of a desert at dawn. These moments of natural silence are not devoid of life. They are filled with subtle sounds, a distant rustle of wind, the soft whisper of falling snow, that remind us that silence, too, has its own rhythm and voice. Nature's silence is a kind of language, one that speaks to us in metaphors and symbols, urging us to slow down and listen to the subtle interplay of light, shadow, and sound. In our modern world, filled with constant connectivity and a barrage of digital noise, the paradox of silence becomes even more pronounced. The relentless hum of technology, the ceaseless chatter of social media, and the non-stop demands of everyday life leave little room for genuine quiet. Yet it is precisely in the embrace of silence that we find the opportunity to reconnect with ourselves and with the world around us. Moments of deliberate silence, whether through meditation, a walk in nature, or simply turning off our devices, offer us a respite from the cacophony, a chance to experience a deeper level of presence and clarity. This journey into silence is not without its challenges. Embracing the quiet can be unsettling, particularly if we are accustomed to filling every moment with activity and noise. There is a risk of facing our inner thoughts, some of which may be uncomfortable or even painful. However, it is precisely this confrontation with our inner landscape that can lead to transformative insight. In the space of silence, we learn to accept the full range of our emotions, to acknowledge the beauty and the pain of existence without the need to escape or distract ourselves. Ultimately, the paradox of silence is a call to recognize that silence is both an absence and a presence, a void filled with possibility and a canvas upon which our inner lives are projected. It challenges us to reconsider our relationship with sound and stillness, to see that in the quiet, there is a rich, dynamic interplay of life's most subtle forces. In embracing silence, we open ourselves to a deeper understanding of who we are, finding strength in vulnerability and clarity in the midst of uncertainty. The paradox of silence, then, is not a mere lack of noise, but a profound invitation to explore the hidden dimensions of existence. It reminds us that silence, in all its complexity, can be as eloquent and transformative as the most stirring symphony, a testament to the power of the unspoken and the beauty of a quiet mind. The mystery of the unknown invites us to step beyond the confines of our familiar world and enter a realm where questions outnumber answers, where every corner of existence hides secrets waiting to be revealed. Imagine a vast, star-studded sky stretching into infinity, each flickering light a symbol of possibilities that have yet to be understood. This mystery is not merely about what lies out there in the cosmos, but also what dwells within the depths of our own minds and souls. It is a journey into the heart of uncertainty, a voyage that challenges us to let go of the comfort of certainty and embrace the wonder of the unexplored. At its core, the unknown represents the uncharted territories of both outer space and inner thought. When we look up at the night sky, we see galaxies, nebulae, and dark voids that speak of an expansive universe far beyond our comprehension. These celestial phenomena remind us that, despite all our technological advances and scientific breakthroughs, there remains an infinite reservoir of mystery. Each discovery in astronomy opens up new questions. How did the universe begin? What lies beyond the observable limits? And most intriguingly, is there life in forms we have yet to imagine? The more we learn, the more we realize that our knowledge is but a small island in an endless sea of the unknown. Yet the mystery of the unknown is not confined to the cosmos. It also permeates our personal lives, whispering in the quiet moments of introspection when the noise of daily existence falls away. In these silent spaces, we are confronted with our deepest uncertainties about our identities, our relationships, and our purpose. We find ourselves questioning the narratives we have built around our lives, and in doing so, we uncover layers of meaning that were previously hidden. This inner exploration is often unsettling, as it forces us to confront the parts of ourselves that we might prefer to keep in shadow. But it is also profoundly liberating, for it opens up the possibility of growth and transformation, inviting us to reimagine who we are and who we might become. The mystery of the unknown also challenges the boundaries of our perception. It teaches us that what we consider real and tangible is often a construct of our senses and minds. Our understanding of reality is shaped by experiences, culture, and context, factors that can limit or distort the truth. When we begin to question these limitations, we allow the unknown to seep into our consciousness, enriching our perspective with its ambiguity. It is in this space of uncertainty that creativity blossoms. Artists, writers, and thinkers have long drawn inspiration from the mysterious, using it as a canvas upon which to project their visions of beauty, fear, and transcendence. Their work reminds us that the unknown is not something to be feared, but a source of endless possibility, urging us to explore and reinterpret the world around us. In science, the pursuit of the unknown is a driving force behind innovation and discovery. The questions that remain unanswered inspire researchers to push the boundaries of human knowledge, to delve into the intricacies of nature, and to seek out patterns in chaos. Each experiment, every observation, is a step toward illuminating the dark corners of our understanding. And yet, with every answer, new mysteries arise, suggesting that the quest for knowledge is an endless journey. This paradox, that the more we learn, the more we realize how little we know, serves as a humbling reminder of the vastness of the unknown. It encourages us to remain curious, to embrace uncertainty as a natural part of the scientific process, and to acknowledge that the ultimate truth may be forever just out of reach. On a philosophical level, the unknown invites us to reconsider our relationship with life itself. It challenges us to find comfort in the ambiguity of existence, to accept that not every question has a clear answer. This acceptance does not lead to despair, but rather to a deeper appreciation for the beauty of mystery. The unknown compels us to live with an open heart, to continuously seek, to wonder, and to marvel at the complexity of the world. It teaches us that uncertainty is not an obstacle to be overcome, but a vital aspect of the human experience, an ever-present reminder that life, with all its twists and turns, is an adventure defined by the courage to explore what lies beyond the horizon. Ultimately, the mystery of the unknown is both a challenge and an invitation, a call to push beyond our limits, to confront our deepest fears, and to celebrate the boundless potential of what we have yet to discover. It is an enduring enigma that propels us forward, inspiring us to question, to learn, and to grow. In embracing the unknown, we open ourselves to a universe of infinite possibility, where every moment is a chance to uncover a new facet of reality, and every unanswered question is a doorway to greater understanding. The journey into the unknown is, therefore, not a destination, but an ever-unfolding path, a mystery that continues to evolve with us, enriching our lives with its endless wonder. The Conundrum of Dreams beckons us into a realm where reality and imagination intertwine in mysterious ways. Picture yourself drifting into sleep, where the boundaries of your waking life begin to blur and dissolve, making room for a world that is as surreal as it is profound. In this space, dreams emerge as elusive narratives that defy logic and yet resonate with the hidden truths of our innermost selves. As we journey through the landscape of dreams, we quickly learn that they are not simply random images or fleeting thoughts. Instead, they are puzzles, enigmatic messages wrapped in symbolism and emotion. Each dream presents its own conundrum. Familiar faces may appear transformed, places we once knew take on new dimensions, and even the laws of physics seem to bend and twist in unexpected ways. It is as if the mind, freed from the constraints of our everyday logic, takes us on a voyage through its own inner workings, inviting us to explore the realms of desire, fear, hope, and memory. The conundrum lies in the very nature of dreams. They are both personal and universal. On one hand, a dream might capture a moment of intimate significance, a long-forgotten memory, or a secret wish that stirs in the depths of our soul. On the other, dreams tap into a collective language, a reservoir of symbols that echo through the corridors of human experience. This duality creates a fascinating paradox. While each dream is uniquely tailored to the dreamer, it also speaks a language that transcends individual identity. It is this intersection of the personal and the archetypal that makes dreams such a rich subject for both introspection and creative expression. In our waking hours, we often dismiss dreams as mere byproducts of a restless mind, fragments of randomness that vanish upon the first light of dawn. Yet many have argued that dreams hold a mirror to our innermost truths, offering insights into aspects of ourselves that remain hidden under the surface of consciousness. They challenge us to decipher their symbolism, to unravel the layers of meaning encoded in fleeting images and surreal narratives. This process is inherently ambiguous. Each interpretation of a dream may open new questions, even as it offers a glimpse of clarity. And perhaps that is the very point. The conundrum of dreams is not meant to be solved in a neat, tidy fashion, but to provoke a continual dialogue between our conscious mind and the mysterious realms of the unconscious. Throughout history, poets, artists, and thinkers have been captivated by the power of dreams to inspire and confound. Surrealist painters, for example, have long attempted to capture the fluid, often illogical quality of dreams on canvas, creating works that blur the line between reality and fantasy. In literature, dreams serve as a fertile ground for exploring the human condition, offering a space where the boundaries of time, space, and identity are fluid, where one can encounter both the beauty and the terror of existence. Such artistic expressions remind us that dreams, in all their ambiguity, are not just escapes from reality, but also deep dives into the essence of what it means to be human. The conundrum of dreams also extends to the realm of science. Neuroscience has revealed that during sleep, our brains enter states of activity that are vastly different from our waking consciousness. Here, neural circuits engage in processes that consolidate memories, process emotions, and perhaps even simulate future scenarios. This scientific perspective adds another layer to the mystery. While we are still unraveling the exact functions of dreams, their ubiquity across cultures and eras suggests they play a crucial role in our mental and emotional lives. The interplay between the neurological and the experiential aspects of dreaming creates a bridge between hard science and the rich tapestry of human narrative. Yet, for all our advances in understanding the mechanics of dreaming, much remains unknown. Every dream, no matter how vividly remembered, leaves behind an open-ended question, a puzzle with pieces that may never fully align. This inherent uncertainty is what makes dreams both compelling and enigmatic. They serve as a reminder that there is a vast, unexplored territory within each of us, a hidden dimension of experience that is as unpredictable as it is profound. In embracing the conundrum of dreams, we learn to appreciate the beauty of ambiguity and the power of mystery. We come to see that the value of a dream is not necessarily in its literal content, but in its capacity to spark reflection, to awaken us to aspects of ourselves that lie dormant, and to inspire us to reimagine the boundaries of our reality. As we continue to explore the labyrinth of our subconscious, we may find that each dream, with all its puzzles and paradoxes, is an invitation, a call to venture deeper into the uncharted territories of our inner world, where the conundrum itself becomes a path to transformation. The Riddle of Absence invites us to explore a space where emptiness speaks louder than presence, where the missing and the unseen hold secrets that define our very experience. Imagine entering a quiet, dim room where every object seems to have been stripped away, leaving only echoes of what once was, a void that resonates with a mysterious energy. In this absence, we find a paradox. The lack of something becomes a profound presence in its own right, a canvas upon which our thoughts, memories, and emotions are projected. As we contemplate absence, we begin to see it not as a mere void, but as a dynamic space filled with potential. Much like the negative space in a work of art, absence is not an emptiness to be feared, but a necessary complement to what is there. It provides balance, context, and a sense of scale. For instance, consider a black canvas where even the slightest brushstroke creates a vivid contrast. A small mark that becomes meaningful precisely because of the surrounding emptiness. In life too, the gaps between our experiences and the silences in our conversations can illuminate truths that words alone cannot express. In our relationships, the absence of a familiar presence, be it the departure of a loved one or the silence after a profound conversation, can evoke a deep emotional response. This absence is not simply a lack of sound or presence. It is imbued with memories, longing, and the bittersweet pain of what once was. The quiet that follows a farewell, the stillness that settles after a shared moment of connection, challenges us to reflect on the significance of what is missing. It reminds us that absence, far from being an inert state, can catalyze introspection, healing, and even transformation. Nature, too, teaches us about the beauty inherent in absence. Picture a landscape where a field of snow stretches into the horizon, its vast, uninterrupted whiteness inviting a sense of awe. The absence of color in that scene is not a deficiency. It is a statement of purity and possibility, where the absence of distractions allows the mind to wander freely and the soul to breathe. Similarly, the spaces between the stars in the night sky, though dark and seemingly empty, define the brilliance of the cosmos. In these moments, absence becomes the stage upon which the drama of existence unfolds, giving shape and meaning to the light that punctuates it. Philosophically, the riddle of absence challenges us to reconsider our definitions of presence and identity. We often measure our lives by what we have, by the tangible elements that fill our days. Yet it is frequently in the spaces left unfilled, the moments of silence between our conversations, the gaps in our memories, that we encounter the most profound insights. Absence forces us to confront our own impermanence and the fleeting nature of all things, urging us to appreciate that every loss creates room for new beginnings. In this way, absence is not an end, but a transition, a space of potential where what is missing may one day be rediscovered or reimagined. On an inner level, the riddle of absence touches upon the delicate interplay between our conscious and subconscious minds. In moments of solitude, when the external noise subsides, we are left alone with our thoughts, a silence that can be both comforting and unnerving. This inner absence strips away the distractions of everyday life, revealing the raw, unfiltered layers of our inner world. Here, the absence of external stimuli becomes a mirror, reflecting back our hidden fears, desires, and untapped creativity. It is in this quiet reflection that we often find the courage to explore the parts of ourselves that we have long neglected, uncovering a depth and richness that defies simple explanation. In art and literature, absence has long been celebrated as a source of inspiration. The spaces left unsaid in a poem, the blank pages in a diary, or the subtle pauses in a piece of music all evoke a sense of mystery and potential. These creative gaps invite the viewer or reader to participate in the process of meaning-making, to fill the void with their own experiences and emotions. In doing so, absence transforms from a mere lack into an active dialogue, a shared experience where what is not there speaks as powerfully as what is. Ultimately, the riddle of absence challenges us to embrace the unseen and the unsaid, to find beauty in the gaps and strength in the voids of our lives. It is a reminder that absence is not simply a loss to be mourned, but a profound opportunity for reflection and renewal. By learning to appreciate the spaces between, we discover that our lives are richer and more complex than they might appear on the surface. Every silence, every empty space is a testament to the dynamic interplay of presence and absence, a reminder that what is missing often holds the key to what is most essential. The paradox of solitude invites us to explore a state that is both a sanctuary and a challenge, a condition where isolation and self-discovery coexist in a delicate, often contradictory balance. Picture a quiet room, dimly lit by the soft glow of a setting sun, where the only sound is the steady rhythm of your own breath. In that moment of solitude, you might feel an overwhelming sense of loneliness, as if the world has receded into the background. Yet, in that very same silence, there is an invitation to look inward, to discover parts of yourself that can only emerge when external distractions are stripped away. Solitude is often seen as a refuge, a place to retreat from the constant chatter of modern life. In our busy, interconnected world, the idea of being alone can evoke feelings of isolation or even anxiety. We are conditioned to believe that constant connection is the key to happiness and success. Social media, bustling cityscapes, and the ceaseless demands of work reinforce the notion that we must always be engaged, always be in touch with others. However, when we pause and allow ourselves to be alone with our thoughts, we enter a realm where the external world fades and our inner landscape comes into focus. In this state, the paradox of solitude becomes apparent. On one hand, solitude can be a source of deep creative energy and profound insight. Many of history's great thinkers, writers, and artists have sought solitude as a way to cultivate ideas, to let their imaginations roam freely without interruption. It is in the quiet corners of our minds that we encounter the raw materials of innovation and self-understanding. The absence of noise and the lack of immediate external validation encourage us to trust our inner voice, to explore our emotions, and to question our long-held beliefs. In this light, solitude is not a void to be feared, but a fertile ground for personal transformation and growth. Yet, on the other hand, the very same solitude can also magnify our sense of separateness. Without the comforting presence of others, our thoughts can spiral into self-doubt, and the silence can echo with the weight of our fears. Loneliness may creep in, blurring the line between a healthy retreat into oneself and an isolating experience that disconnects us from the richness of human connection. This dual nature, where solitude offers both refuge and risk, creates a profound tension. It challenges us to navigate the fine line between embracing our inner world and remaining engaged with the outer world, where relationships and community offer support and a sense of belonging. The paradox deepens when we consider the cultural narratives that surround solitude. In some traditions, being alone is revered, a state of spiritual awakening or a necessary step towards self-realization. Philosophers and mystics have often described solitude as a path to enlightenment, where the clamor of everyday life is silenced, and one can hear the subtle whispers of truth. In these moments, solitude transforms into a contemplative practice, where the introspective journey becomes as significant as any external achievement. It is a time when the layers of societal conditioning peel away, revealing the authentic self beneath. Conversely, in a culture that prizes extroversion and social interaction, solitude is sometimes stigmatized. Being alone is equated with being antisocial or even defective. This external pressure to constantly engage with others can create an internal conflict where the desire for meaningful connection battles with the need for introspection. The paradox of solitude, therefore, is not simply about being alone. It is about reconciling these opposing impulses within ourselves. It is the challenge of embracing solitude as a source of strength and creativity, even as we acknowledge our inherent need for connection. As we reflect on the paradox of solitude, we are invited to consider its transformative potential. The very act of sitting quietly in one's own company can lead to an awakening of the senses, a rediscovery of the simple joys that are often drowned out by the noise of the world. It is in these moments that we may reconnect with our passions, unearth forgotten dreams, and gain clarity about our purpose. Solitude offers us a chance to confront our innermost fears, to face the aspects of our identity that we might otherwise avoid. And in doing so, it lays the foundation for a deeper, more authentic way of living. In the interplay between isolation and intimacy with oneself, we find a mirror reflecting both our vulnerabilities and our strengths. The paradox of solitude reminds us that while the absence of others can bring a sense of disquiet, it also creates space for self-compassion, creativity, and renewal. It teaches us that solitude is not synonymous with loneliness, but rather an opportunity to cultivate an inner richness that can eventually enhance our connections with the world around us. Ultimately, the paradox of solitude is a call to embrace the complexities of being alone, recognizing that within the silence lies not only the potential for isolation, but also the promise of profound insight and personal growth. It invites us to see solitude as a dynamic, transformative process, a state in which we can both lose ourselves and, paradoxically, discover the essence of who we truly are. The puzzle of reflections invites us to contemplate a realm where what we see is both familiar and mysteriously transformed, a world where every mirror, every ripple in water, offers not a straightforward image, but a riddle to be deciphered. Imagine standing before a calm lake at sunrise. The surface is almost perfectly still, yet the reflection of the sky and trees is subtly distorted, shimmering with nuances that hint at hidden depths. In that moment, the image before you is not a mere copy, but a puzzle, an interplay of light and shadow that invites deeper inquiry into the nature of reality and self. At its core, a reflection is a dual phenomenon. On one side, it faithfully mimics the form of the object, an echo of reality. On the other, it introduces an element of ambiguity. A mirror image is always reversed, a lateral inversion that defies our intuitive grasp of orientation. This contradiction between faithful reproduction and mysterious distortion creates a metaphor for our inner lives. Just as a mirror can capture our physical appearance while obscuring the inner truth of who we are, the reflections we encounter in life offer us both clarity and enigma, urging us to look beyond the surface. Consider the common mirror in your home. It provides a daily encounter with your own image, a face that is familiar yet, in a split second, can evoke a multitude of emotions. Sometimes, a fleeting expression, a momentary glance, reveals something unexpected about yourself, perhaps a hidden sadness or a spark of joy that you had not noticed before. This puzzle of self-reflection is not confined to physical appearance alone. It is a reminder that our identity, like a reflection, is complex and multi-layered. What we project and what we perceive can shift with each moment, influenced by our experiences, memories, and even the light in the room. Beyond the literal, reflections have long served as symbols in art, literature, and philosophy. They invite us to question what is real and what is illusion. In many stories, A mirror is not just an object, but a portal, a gateway into another realm, a threshold where the boundary between reality and fantasy blurs. These narratives compel us to ponder. If a reflection can mimic reality so convincingly, where does one end and the other begin? This question resonates deeply in our own quest for self-knowledge, as we attempt to discern the essence of our inner world from the projections we see on the surface. In nature, reflections create their own symphony of paradoxes. Think of the way a mountain is mirrored in a lake, doubling its grandeur while softening its edges. Or consider the way clouds, when reflected in water, appear both solid and ethereal. These natural phenomena remind us that the world is not divided into strict binaries of real and unreal, but exists as a continuum, a blend of forms that challenge our need for clear-cut boundaries. The puzzle of reflections, then, is also a celebration of this ambiguity, an invitation to embrace the interplay of opposites rather than forcing a simplistic categorization. This duality extends into our interpersonal relationships as well. We often see ourselves through the eyes of others, a kind of social reflection that can either affirm or distort our self-image. The way someone smiles at us, the tone of their voice, the unspoken glances exchanged in moments of silence, all contribute to a complex reflection of who we are. Sometimes, this social mirror offers validation and confidence. At other times, it presents us with a dissonant image, one that challenges our self-perception and urges us to reconsider our assumptions. In this way, the puzzle of reflections becomes a dialogue between the self and society, a dynamic interplay that continuously shapes and reshapes our identity. Moreover, reflections have the power to reveal truths about time and change. Look again at that still lake at dawn. As the sun rises, the light shifts, and the reflected image evolves with it. The scene is transient, capturing a moment that will never be exactly repeated. In this impermanence, there is a profound lesson. Just as the reflection changes with every passing second, so too do our lives transform with each new experience. The puzzle of reflections thus becomes a meditation on the nature of existence, on how every moment is both fleeting and eternal, and how beauty can be found in the ephemeral. In the end, the puzzle of reflections challenges us to see the world and ourselves in a new light. It reminds us that what we observe is never a complete or static reality, but a dynamic interplay of factors that invite ongoing exploration. Whether in the delicate play of light on water, the mirror that offers a glimpse of our innermost self, or the social cues that inform our personal narrative, reflections are puzzles that beckon us to look deeper, to question, and to grow. By embracing the ambiguity inherent in reflections, we open ourselves to a richer, more nuanced understanding of the world around us. We learn that every image, every moment of reflection, holds layers of meaning waiting to be uncovered. And in that discovery, we find not only insight into the nature of reality, but also a deeper connection to the ever-changing tapestry of life itself. The Labyrinth of Questions invites us to embark on a journey through a maze not built of walls and corridors, but of inquiry and introspection. A maze where every turn leads to new puzzles, and every dead end sparks further curiosity. Imagine standing at the entrance of this labyrinth, a place where certainty dissolves into a myriad of possibilities, and where the questions you ask become both the map and the mystery. As you step forward, you realize that every question is a pathway, guiding you through a complex network of thought and emotion, each one interwoven with the next in a tapestry of perpetual wonder. At the very beginning of the labyrinth, the questions are simple and immediate. Who am I? What is this life? Yet as you venture deeper, these questions multiply and transform. The straightforward inquiries of youth evolve into profound meditations on the nature of existence, the passage of time, and the essence of truth. In these winding corridors, you encounter questions that challenge the very foundations of your beliefs. What is reality, if not a series of perceptions shaped by your mind? How do the choices you make ripple through the unseen fabric of your life? And what does it mean to seek answers in a world where each answer only unfolds into further mystery? This journey through the labyrinth is both exhilarating and daunting. With every step, you discover that the maze of questions is never-ending, an intricate network where each answer births a new set of questions. The deeper you go, the more you realize that certainty is not found in definitive conclusions, but in the ongoing process of inquiry itself. Here, in the heart of the labyrinth, ambiguity is not something to be feared, but embraced, a sign that life is rich with hidden dimensions waiting to be explored. In the quiet moments of reflection, you may pause in a small chamber of the maze where the light of insight breaks through the darkness. These moments feel like revelations, a sudden clarity that illuminates a part of your path. Yet, even as you savor this clarity, you know that the maze does not offer a final exit. Instead, it continuously invites you to look deeper, to ask further, and to be humbled by the endless complexity of existence. The questions you uncover in these moments are both personal and universal, echoing the timeless inquiries of philosophers, poets, and dreamers throughout the ages. As you navigate the labyrinth, you begin to see that the questions themselves are like mirrors, reflecting not only the world around you, but also the inner workings of your own mind. They challenge you to confront your doubts and to acknowledge the uncertainties that reside in the hidden corners of your thoughts. Each question is a doorway to self-discovery, inviting you to peel back the layers of your experiences, fears, and hopes. It is through this continual dialogue with your inner self that you learn to appreciate the beauty of not having all the answers, a beauty that lies in the perpetual motion of inquiry, in the understanding that the quest for knowledge is as significant as the knowledge itself. The Labyrinth of Questions is not a path meant for those seeking a neat resolution, but for those who revel in the art of questioning. It is a journey that celebrates the richness of thought, the thrill of not knowing, and the transformative power of curiosity. In this maze, every wrong turn, every moment of uncertainty becomes a stepping stone toward a deeper understanding of who you are and what it means to be alive. The more you explore, the more you realize that the true value of this journey lies in the questions themselves, the endless, dynamic questions that fuel your growth, inspire creativity, and connect you to the shared human experience of seeking and wondering. Ultimately, the Labyrinth of Questions teaches us that life is not a puzzle to be solved with a single answer, but a complex narrative that is continuously written through the act of questioning. It reminds us that our existence is defined not by the conclusions we reach, but by the journey we undertake in search of understanding. Every question is a reminder of the infinite possibilities that lie before us, a call to remain curious and to honor the mystery that is life. In the interplay of inquiry and insight, we find that the labyrinth is both our guide and our destination, a never-ending journey of exploration that enriches our lives with its boundless potential. The illusion of finality invites us to contemplate the nature of endings, a concept that at first glance appears absolute, yet upon closer inspection reveals itself as nothing more than a transient marker in an ever-evolving journey. Imagine reaching what seems to be the finish line of a race, a moment when you believe the journey has come to an end. In that instant, there is a powerful urge to pause, to reflect, and to feel a sense of closure. And yet, as you stand there, you realize that what you perceived as an ending was really just a turning point, a doorway leading to a new chapter, a transformation that defies the simplicity of a final conclusion. Throughout our lives, we are conditioned to seek finality, final answers, final decisions, final moments that signal the end of one phase and the beginning of another. We celebrate graduations, retirements, and farewells, believing that these events neatly package the complexities of our experiences into tidy conclusions. However, the more we delve into the nature of existence, the more we come to understand that finality is, in many ways, an illusion. Every ending gives rise to new possibilities. What we think of as closure is often just a momentary calm before the next surge of life's unfolding drama. Consider the seasons. Winter is often seen as the final, cold end of the year, a period of dormancy and decay. Yet, hidden beneath the frost is the promise of spring, a time when life reawakens, blossoming in vibrant colors and renewed energy. This cyclical process reminds us that even what appears to be an end is inherently temporary. The same holds true for our personal journeys. A chapter of loss, a breakup, or even the conclusion of a project can feel definitive in its sorrow or satisfaction. But with time, these moments dissolve into the broader tapestry of our lives, each thread contributing to a narrative that is constantly in flux. In art and literature, the theme of finality is often explored through metaphors that emphasize impermanence. A sunset, for example, might symbolize the end of a day, yet it also heralds the coming night, a period of introspection and dreams. The fading light is beautiful precisely because it is transient. Its brilliance lies in its fleeting nature. Similarly, the concept of finality in our lives is imbued with a bittersweet quality. While endings can bring pain and uncertainty, they also carry the seeds of transformation. They invite us to let go of what no longer serves us, and to embrace the continuous evolution that defines our existence. Philosophers have long argued that finality is a construct of the human mind, a way to impose order on the chaos of life. In truth, existence is a series of overlapping cycles, where each conclusion is inextricably linked to a new beginning. The notion of a final moment is a convenient illusion, one that helps us navigate the complexities of time and change. When we accept that finality is not absolute, we free ourselves from the anxiety of closure. We learn to view endings as integral parts of a larger, unending process, a process that encourages constant growth, reinvention, and renewal. This perspective can be both liberating and transformative. Embracing the illusion of finality means acknowledging that our lives are not a series of disconnected, isolated events, but a continuous flowing narrative. It allows us to celebrate our achievements and grieve our losses without clinging to the notion that everything must come to a definitive end. Instead, we learn to appreciate the fluidity of life, the way one moment seamlessly gives way to the next, each interlude rich with potential and hidden meaning. In our modern world, where the pace of life often pushes us to seek quick resolutions and definitive outcomes, the illusion of finality stands as a gentle reminder that not everything is meant to be final. Decisions can be revisited, relationships can evolve, and the very essence of who we are can transform over time. The endings we perceive are not rigid boundaries, but flexible transitions that invite us to explore new facets of ourselves and our surroundings. This understanding encourages us to live with a sense of openness and curiosity, knowing that every conclusion is merely a prelude to another beginning. Ultimately, the illusion of finality challenges us to rethink our relationship with time and change. It invites us to see life as a grand, interconnected tapestry where each thread, whether it appears to mark an ending or a beginning, is essential to the whole. In accepting that finality is an illusion, we learn to let go of our fears of loss and impermanence, and instead, we embrace the beauty of constant evolution. Every farewell becomes a quiet promise of return. Every sunset, a gentle assurance that dawn is always on the horizon. The riddle of finality, then, is not a puzzle to be solved with definitive answers, but an invitation to appreciate the endless, cyclical nature of existence. It reminds us that what we perceive as an end is, in reality, a momentary pause, a transient, necessary phase in the infinite journey of life. And in that understanding, we find both comfort and inspiration, knowing that every conclusion holds within it the promise of a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to explore the boundless wonders of being. The Dreamscape of Revelation invites us into a realm where the boundaries between waking life and the inner world of dreams blur into a vivid tapestry of insight and wonder. Imagine drifting into a twilight state, where the ordinary rules of time and space give way to a landscape of shimmering visions and whispered truths. In this dreamscape, the familiar is transformed into a fluid array of images that both captivate and confound. A world where every flicker of light, every swirl of color, reveals hints of hidden realities and long-forgotten memories. As you journey through this ethereal realm, you might find yourself walking along a path that seems to float above an endless sea of stardust. The air shimmers with the glow of distant constellations, and the ground beneath you is soft with the echoes of ancient dreams. Here, each step you take is accompanied by the gentle murmur of your own heartbeat, a rhythmic reminder that you are both the observer and the creator of this unfolding mystery. In this space, revelation is not delivered in a single moment of clarity, but emerges gradually, like the soft unfolding of a delicate flower in the quiet of night. In the dreamscape of revelation, images that once seemed mundane in the light of day transform into symbols of profound significance. A simple archway might become a portal to an inner sanctuary, while a winding river reflects not just water, but the flow of your innermost thoughts and emotions. These images, bathed in the half-light of dreams, invite you to explore layers of meaning that lie just beneath the surface of your conscious mind. They speak a language of metaphor and intuition, a language that bypasses the logical mind and taps directly into the essence of who you are. At times, the dreamscape may present itself as a labyrinth of shifting scenes, a familiar street dissolving into a forest of towering trees, or the sound of a distant melody evoking memories of a place you can no longer recall. In these moments, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The barriers between the past and the present dissolve, revealing that time itself is as fluid and malleable as the images that dance before your eyes. Every fleeting vision is a riddle, a piece of a larger puzzle that hints at the deeper truths of your existence. And as you wander this surreal terrain, you begin to sense that these revelations are not merely random occurrences, but purposeful signs, guides that gently steer you toward a more profound understanding of yourself and the world around you. The experience of this dreamscape is both intimate and expansive. It is a personal odyssey that invites you to confront the hidden recesses of your own soul, while at the same time connecting you to the collective reservoir of human experience. In the quiet moments of reflection that follow a vivid dream, you may find that the symbols and scenes linger in your thoughts, urging you to question, to remember, and ultimately to transform. The process of deciphering these dream visions becomes a dialogue, a conversation between the conscious and the subconscious, between what is known and what is yet to be discovered. Art and literature have long been enchanted by this interplay of dreams and revelation. Poets have attempted to capture the ineffable quality of a dream with verses that evoke both beauty and melancholy, while painters have sought to express the shifting forms and colors of the dreamscape on canvas. Their works serve as windows into a world where logic gives way to intuition and where every image holds a double meaning, a secret waiting to be unveiled by those who dare to look beyond the surface. In this ever-changing dreamscape, the very act of revelation is transformative. Each symbolic encounter, whether it comes as a sudden burst of clarity or a slow, lingering echo, invites you to shed the layers of preconception that bind you. As you embrace these ephemeral glimpses of truth, you begin to understand that the journey toward revelation is not about arriving at a final, definitive answer. Rather, it is an ongoing process of exploration, a perpetual quest that enriches your inner life and opens you up to new possibilities. The dreamscape of revelation, then, is a realm of endless potential, a space where the ordinary transcends its boundaries, and the mysteries of existence are laid bare in their most enigmatic forms. It is a reminder that within the depths of our dreams lie the seeds of transformation, the keys to unlocking hidden aspects of our consciousness, and the promise of a reality that is far more expansive and intricate than our waking minds can fully grasp. In embracing this dreamscape, you are invited to let go of rigid certainties and to allow yourself to be carried by the currents of intuition and imagination. Every moment spent in this mystical realm is a step towards self-discovery, a dance between the known and the unknown, the visible and the hidden. And in that dance, you may come to realize that the most profound revelations are not found in answers, but in the beautiful, ever-unfolding mystery of the journey itself.